Hello everyone and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat, and tonight we've got a brilliant game coming our way. It's the second Subway Women's League Cup semi-final between Arsenal and Manchester City, the two sides who played each other a few days ago, and well, that was an absolute cracker at the Joey Stadium. So tonight, I don't know what to expect, I don't know what's going to happen, but either way it's going to be a brilliant match of football. As we know, the winner will go on to play Chelsea in the Subway Women's League Cup final. So a lot on the line. Are we going to see a repeat of last year's final between Chelsea and Arsenal, or can Man City finally get themselves back into a domestic cup final? A really big night tonight for both these sides. Will Slagers reach her first final as Arsenal manager, or will City finally go one game away from winning a trophy? It is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. This is the type of game that, if it's anything like what happened on Sunday, we're in for some fun. Could it go to extra time? Could it go to penalties? Let's see what's going to happen. But two sides who have made a few changes, as you'd expect. It's really difficult when you play the same side back to back. It's really difficult to get it right for both managers. So both of them have made a few tweaks here and there, and some really positive news, I think, for Manchester City. Bernie says, good evening, hope you're doing well. Hey, thank you, Bernie. Hope you're doing well too, and welcome to everyone who is tuning in right now. But let's have a look at those lineups then. We'll start with the home side, Arsenal. Only one change from the side that beat Manchester City on Sunday. Daphne van Domselaar keeps her spot in net. It is in the same back four of Catley, Wubben-Moy, Williamson and Emily Fox. The pivot sees a change. Kyra Cooney-Cross holds her space after what was a really good game against Manchester City, and Leah Vauti comes in alongside of her. That change sees Caroline Tay go back out onto the right-hand side. Alessia Russo stays on the left-hand side with Frida Marnham in the attacking midfield spot, and then Stina Blackstenius leads the line. It is an interesting lineup from Arsenal. Vauti coming back in, and obviously Beth Mead being dropped, and Caroline Tay going back out wide. I think it's an interesting one. I understand it from Sega's point of view. I think Leah Vauti will come in and she will offer Arsenal a little bit more control in this game, and perhaps the game will be a lot more composed and calm. But I think that Caroline Tay, as we highlighted in our analysis yesterday, I think Caroline Tay had a really good game in that playing in that midfield role. So I'm intrigued to see what she can do from the right-hand side. I still think having Alessia Russo out wide and putting Blackstenius up front does cost Arsenal. I understand that it is through necessity with Caitlin Ford being out injured, but it's a real waste of Russo's talents putting her out on the left, and Blackstenius, although she did score on Sunday, did miss quite a few opportunities. So she's got to be more clinical tonight, especially in this cup competition. You can't afford to miss chances because it could be really costly. Let's have a look at the away side then. 3 changes for Gareth Taylor's side, and the first one comes in goal. Yamashita returns between the sticks for Man City. This is unsurprising. Kiara Keating had another really poor game on Sunday. Yamashita comes back in. The back four, there is a change. Lazell returns for the first time since, I think it was the Barcelona game at home. Lazell returns for Manchester City. That is a big key addition. Uahabi is dropped to the bench. Lazell comes in at left back. The rest of the defence stays as it was, with Rebecca Knack, Leah Alexandri and Kasparai keeping their spots. There is also a change in the midfield. Then Yui Hasegawa stays as that defensive player, with Jill Rord and what could be either Mary Fowler or Viviana Miedemar playing in the middle. I'm going to predict that I think it'll be Mary Fowler. I think Miedemar will stay up front. It'll be for Gino on the right-hand side. And a first Manchester City start for Caroline on, well, out wide, potentially. There's a lot of options this Manchester City side could produce, but I would expect to see it as Mary Fowler in midfield with Miedemar leading the line, and then Fagino and Caroline on the flanks. But a first start for Caroline in such a big game. It's important tonight that she comes in and plays well and really proves a point, because Manchester City, they could do with Caroline tonight putting on an absolutely beautiful performance. But yes, some changes for City. Really good to have Lazell back. Caroline for a first start. I like that from Gareth Taylor. He sees that the performances recently haven't been good enough and he makes a few changes. But we will have to wait until the game kicks off to see who is going to play where, because there are there are quite a few options. We could see Miedemar in midfield and Fowler lead the line. We could see Fowler in midfield and see Miedemar lead the line. So that one, it'd be interesting to see which way round that is. Mark Rochford under the stream says, hopefully City aren't playing Keating in goal. Well, luckily for you, they aren't. Yamashita does return. Yamashita played the Villa game where, again, she conceded 2 goals. City have got a real confidence crisis going on, especially defensively. They've got 2 goalkeepers who, for me, haven't performed well enough this season, especially Kiara Keating. The drop-off from this season to last season to this season has been incredible. Incredibly poor. I mean, it's not been amazing. It's been really bad. I think that for defensively, Alexandri's made a lot of errors. Rebecca Knack hasn't. I think she's done okay, saying that she's been thrown into the side, and we know how attacking City like to be, pushing both those fullbacks on. This is why I think Naomi Lazel returning tonight is absolutely crucial for City, because compared to Uahabi, Lazel is a little bit more defensive. It can go both ways. She's really good going forward, but I think she offers Man City more defensively. So I think that is a really key change for the away side tonight, is that Lazel does return after being out on the sideline for months. Still no Khadija Shaw, which I think will be slightly disappointing. We've seen Shaw come on against Villa and against Arsenal, so still no start for Shaw, but she is on the bench. So expect to see her come on in the latter stages of this game if Man City do need to find a goal. So that one was disappointing, but I think to have Caroline starting, to have Lazel back from injury is really key for Manchester City and Gareth Taylor. Bernie says, I'm excited to see Caroline from the off tonight. Me too. I think it could be it's one of those where it's set up so nicely. Arsenal have just beaten Manchester City. Manchester City are struggling. League Cup semi-final. What an opportunity for Caroline to come in, score the winning goal, and be a Man City hero already. I understand why you're excited, because she's that kind of player. And I think the way that the last few game weeks have gone for both these sides, it's set up really nicely for Caroline to come in and be that difference maker. But will be very interesting to see how she plays tonight. As I said, it is a big game to throw her into. For her first start to be a League Cup semi-final is asking a lot. But at the end of the day, Caroline is that kind of player. She's a top player on her day, and if she can unlock that ability that we know that she possesses, then she could cause a lot of problems for Arsenal tonight. For the Gunners, very similar side to that played on Sunday. Makes sense. McCabe's back on the bench, but after Ruben Moy came in and I thought looked really, really good, and Catley's also looked superb under Renee Slagers, so I understand why there's no changes in the back line. As I said with Vouty, I think that she just offers a little bit more control, and if you think about how kind of crazy that game was on Sunday, I think Vouty can just calm things down in there, give Arsenal a bit more possession and try and just slow the game down a little bit more, which could be crucial in a game like this, because I'll be surprised tonight if we see that same basketball type match that we saw on Sunday. So Vouty comes in and I think she offers a lot of control. I think Cooney Cross had a really good season and I'd expect her to put in another good performance tonight. So that pivot could work really nicely. As I said, for Arsenal, attacking areas, I'm intrigued to see what happens there. Caldente's back out wide. Russo is still being forced to play on that left-hand side, and Blackstairs leading the line. It hurts Arsenal, but I still think there's a chance that they, if Blackstairs on her day could have scored a hatful a few days ago. So if she gets those same chances tonight, if she starts to find the back of the net, then she could be absolutely on the money. But yeah, if you are just tuning in, because there's loads of you coming in right now, make sure to get your thoughts in the chat, have a vote in the poll, and let me know who you're going to win and what you're thinking about what is such a huge game for both these sides. There's been a lot of talk, I think, recently with Man City's bad form. Not bad form, but it's been really patchy, and there's been a lot of questions. They've fallen outside the top 3, and people are asking, is there pressure on Gareth Taylor? They're outside the top 3 now. If they don't win a trophy, is he in trouble? And games like this, really, they decide things like that. Because if they go and win today, they're suddenly in the final and they've got a great chance of winning silverware. If they get knocked out, then it suddenly puts more problems on top of Manchester City. And and it could come pretty costly. Lorette on the screen says kick-off been delayed to 7:15. Has it? Well, that is not great. I will just have it. Oh, yeah, so that isn't brilliant. But I am just checking that where this is. But yeah, so I think that, as I was saying at Man City, this is absolutely pivotal. But yeah, I'm trying to. Where have you seen that the kickoff's been delayed? I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to make sure that it's confirmed and try and find out why. But yeah, I think that for Gareth, even just for Gareth Taylor's sake, it's really crucial that that they win games like this, that they get to cup finals, that they go and win trophies. Because this season, even if they don't get to a final, I think he's in massive trouble. If they don't win a trophy, I still think he's in some trouble. So this game is crucial. I think City will look at it and they will see it as that they have to be there. They have to be at Pride Park in March. They have to be there taking on Chelsea. But Arsenal, they love this competition. They've been in the last 2 or 3 finals. They've won they've won this trophy the most out of anyone. They love this cup, and that is going to make it really difficult for City, because when it comes to Arsenal in the League Cup, it's very hard to stop them winning it. So City, they've got a lot on their hands tonight. Riley Taylor, welcome to the stream. Says Blackstenius, 4 late goals in the last 3 against City in the league, and well, that is setting it up brilliantly for a semi-final. Because if that happens again, then we stay tuned right till the off, because that could get very tasty. But Blackstenius has she's got a real knack for scoring against City in huge games. I think you can genuinely say that Blackstenius single-handedly lost City the title last season. It's incredible. But yeah, that's if she does that again tonight, then Arsenal will probably go on to win the game. So they'll be hoping that Blackstenius can pull one of those out. Lucky says, "Hey lads." There is only one of me. Hey, lads. There are no plural lads tonight, unfortunately. But welcome, Lucky. It says, who's in goal for Manchester City? In goal for City, it is Yamashita. So Keating, Yamashita back in net. Bernie says, I think I'll go over 2-1 Arsenal win. Mariona and Marnham with the goals. Consolation goal by Miedema. Fair enough. So similar to what we saw when Man United and Man City played each other again, where it's a much tighter game. It's a much closer game. But Arsenal just come out on top. Monterrey on the screen says City have the hardest path. Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea. They do. That is a horrible draw. And if they do go on to win the competition, then credit to them. And I get you make a really good point. When you compare it to Chelsea, they played Durham and then they played West Ham and then they'll play one of Arsenal or City. So Chelsea got a really favourable run. Manchester City, unfortunately for them, didn't get a. It's a really, really horrible draw. Riley Taylor says kickoff is normal time. I think YouTube stream starts shortly. Fair enough. Thank you for that. I was going to say I haven't quite seen anything yet about the kickoff time being delayed. Lucky says Vouty is going to be huge to control the game. Arsenal for the win. Yeah, I do think that that Leo Vouty will offer a lot to Arsenal. As I said, just slowing that game out, just bringing some control into it and allowing Arsenal to get on the ball. Because as we saw in the game on Sunday, they did really, really well to go 2-0 up. But after that, they just lost a bit of control. They lost a bit of momentum, and City managed to get right back into the game. Riley Taylor says that we have 50 minutes delayed to kick off at Meadow Park due to a broken down ambulance. Thank you. Right, that is, and I've just seen that as well myself. So I will change the kickoff time. So not what we wanted to see tonight. We should have been kicking off in a minute, but unfortunately we are kicking off in 15. Understandably, obviously, broken down ambulance, you can't have that. And information just reaching us. Thank you, Riley. Thanks you to everyone who has pointed that out. If you are just tuning in, then kickoff is delayed at Meadow Park, and we will kick things off at 7:15. All they're doing is meaning that we have to wait another 15 minutes to kick off what is meant to be a brilliant game. So as I said, if you are tuning in, get involved in the chat, get involved in the poll. Who do you think is going to win this semi-final tonight? Who will go on to play Chelsea in March for a chance to win the first Subway Women's League Cup? I love the trophy as well. The Subway theme really, really makes it stand out. But yeah, an important game for both sides. I think it's the type of game that can transform Manchester City's fortunes and transform their season. You know, they've slipped out, as I said, they've fallen outside the top three. They're currently not going to qualify for the UWCL. The FA Cup, they've got Leicester, which is potential banana skin. That's on Sunday. The UWCL draw is tomorrow. So depending on who they get, that could be a really difficult tie. But tonight is 90 minutes where Manchester City could get themselves through to a cup final. And that is a type of game that can just... It gives you momentum. When morale is low, when your team are making mistakes, if they can win tonight, that could be absolutely huge for their campaign, just to get spirits up, a good performance. And that has to be the main thing from the off tonight for Manchester City. I said it on the game on Sunday, and they did the complete opposite. They went and made a mistake 40 seconds in. But for City, first 5-10 minutes, don't make any errors, try and get on the ball, try and keep possession, and just work your way into the game. Because they know Arsenal. Arsenal will come at them hard, they'll come at them fast, and they'll try and make things really, really difficult. So for Arsenal, they'll be hoping that City do make more errors. But for Man City tonight, just slow things down, just keep it calm. Don't make any silly errors. Errors have cost them now this season against Man United, against Everton, against Aston Villa. I mean, I know they won the game against Aston Villa, but they still conceded 2 from it. And against Arsenal. Last few games, they've really let themselves down through individual mistakes. If they can cut them out tonight, they're in for a really, really good, chance of getting something from the game. Bernie says, "I'm not a City fan, but I hope they win. They need to win. They really do need to win, and they need to start building some momentum this season and really getting things underway." Baltazar, welcome to the stream, says, rank for me these players: Patrick Guerrero, Erin Cuthbert and Lindsay Horan. That's a difficult one, because I think, you know, Horan's more of an attacking player, whereas Cuthbert and Guerrero are more defensive players. But I think I would have to go Horan, then Cuthbert, and then Guerrero, I think is what I'd go for. Masek Marar, welcome to the stream, says, ambulance broke down. Yes, so I assume that it will be the ambulance that is meant to be attending the game, just in case there's an injury, has broken down and they've had to go get another one. Riley says, last time these two sides met at Goalfest on Sunday, it didn't come without controversy. Exactly that. I think if this game is remotely as good as that one on Sunday, then we are in for a brilliant game. I don't think we'll see 7 goals. Hopefully we don't see any controversy, as you say, with the penalty. Obviously it wasn't a penalty. It's clear cut. Obviously not a penalty, but it's a really hard one to see. Didn't matter in the end. But yeah, overall, if we get that same fight, if we get that, you know, the same intensity, then that could end up being a really good game of football. HB on the stream says, I can't wait for the UWCL draw tomorrow. Yes, very exciting. Really intrigued to see who draws who. Unfortunately, we can't be live for it because it is during the middle of the day, and unsurprisingly, we're not available during the middle of the day. But I believe for everyone in the UK, it is 12 p.m. So make sure to keep tabs on that, and we'll probably end up discussing it over the weekend. But yeah, we could get some really tasty ties in that quarter-final draw. So really looking forward to that one. We could see this game again. And we spoke about this on Sunday, that if Arsenal and Manchester City draw each other in the Champions League, they would have played each other 6 times this year, and they could still draw each other in the FA Cup. It is absolutely absurd. So yeah, maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. There's a good chance that we do see 2 English sides play each other, which we don't really want to see because it's a domestic game. But it's either way, whoever draws who, there's 8 really good teams there that could provide a really good game of football. Masek Morales says, last year's wrong socks, this year's broken ambulance. Yeah, obviously it was the game at Stamford Bridge last season where Arsenal bought the wrong socks and they had to borrow Chelsea's, and it was an absolute mess. But this time between Arsenal and City, it is a broken down ambulance. Riley Taylor says that he'll be covering the UWCL draw, so that is good. So if you want to go watch the UWCL draw with someone, go watch it with him. Bernie says, rank these managers: Rayan Skinner, Amadine Mikel, or Natalia Arroyo. That is a tough one, because I think that I haven't seen enough from what I've seen of Arroyo. She's looked really good, but I haven't seen enough of her in the WSL. Right now, I think I'd go. Oh, that's tough. I think I put them all on par really. Again, I think Mikel looks to be a really, really good coach, but just hasn't got the results. And Rayanne Skinner is a very experienced head, so I think it's very hard to put any three of them. But I think that if Arroyo keeps going the way that she's gone so far, then I think she's probably the best out of the three of them. HB says, my first time truly questioning Renee, and it's about her left back choice tonight. Catley had a shocking game on Sunday, and she gets rewarded with another start. Fair enough. I don't think Catley was too bad on Sunday. I agree. I think she struggled a little bit up against Virginio, but I understand why Slagers has gone for it. Catley's more defensive than the likes of McCabe, and as much, I think that Catley struggled against Virginio, yes, but I think McCabe would get caught too high. We know McCabe's a very attacking fullback, so if she was to bomb up on the line and leave space in behind, then Virginio could exploit that. So I understand why in such a tight game that Slagers has decided to go for Catley. But I do get your point. I do think that it definitely wasn't Catley's best game in an Arsenal shirt. That is definitely being said. Faywell to the String says, Arsenal fan here thinks City could be more hungry for it given their recent form. Can't call it. Yeah, I think it is going to be a really tight game. And if we think about what happened in the quarter-final between City and United, United tore apart City in the league, but when it came to the cup game, City were up for it and they ended up winning it. And I think that we could potentially see something similar where Arsenal won the league game, but City could end up winning the cup game. So will be very interesting to see. I think I agree with you. I agree with what Bernie and everyone else has said. I think it will be a very, very tight football match, and it could go either way. I definitely don't see either side looking comfortable at any point in this match. It is going to be a really close tie. As we know, there is the possibility that it goes to extra time or penalties tonight. So that could be very, very tasty. We've already kicked off late. We could be here for 3 hours, but it's going to be a great game, so it'll be absolutely worth it. But yeah, this will be a lot tighter than last night anyway. Chelsea, ruthless against West Ham, booked their spot in the final in a few weeks' time. And Arsenal and City are looking to... One of them will join Chelsea in that at Pride Park. Going to be whoever gets through, it's going to be a great final. And I think that right now, I think Arsenal would probably take the game to Chelsea more than City would. But again, if City prove that they can win games like tonight, then it potentially doesn't matter. There's still a few weeks. City could go win every single game in the next few weeks, and suddenly they'd walk into that final looking superb. But they've got to get there first. And as I said earlier, Arsenal and the Women's League Cup just go hand in hand. They love this competition. No reason why. I don't know why, but they just seem to always win it. Riley Taylor says, however, what we've seen on Sunday, I will call it Goalfest time. Fair enough, Riley. Expecting another absolute cracker of a football match. I still think it'll be good. I just don't think we're going to see 7 goals. If we do, though, I will not be complaining, because from a neutral point of view, that will be a superb watch. But yeah, either way, it's going to be it's exactly what you want for a semi-final. It's a tight, tasty game. Could go either way. Both sides, City not playing their best stuff. Arsenal on really good form, but City is a first start for Caroline. Lazel's back from injury, so reinforcements could get very, very interesting. Bernie says Pens could be financing women's pen shootout in a while. I'm trying to think. I think the last penalty shootout we would have seen would have potentially been one of them at the World Cup. Did we see a penalty? I don't think we saw penalties at the Olympics, did we? On the international stage, and I can't think of any. I'm trying to think. End of last season, did we see any cup games that went to penalties? I don't think so. So I think the most recent penalty shootout I can remember are the World Cup, but that was 2 years ago, so I probably am wrong. But in terms of the ones I vividly remember, I think that it's I'd say there were some I'm thinking USA Sweden vibes. That would be what kind of tonight. If it goes to penalties, it will be that tight and that interesting. Masak Morada asks, do you think if Arsenal goes through, they will defend the title? I think it'll be tough. This bombast or Chelsea side have been absolutely ruthless, and Arsenal would be up against it. But Arsenal, something about them in this competition makes them invincible. and that over 90 minutes. Do I think they can beat Chelsea? Probably. And whether I'm not saying they're going to come out and they'd go out and beat them 3-0, but in terms of could they, they could hold on, nick a goal, they could defend well and send it to penalties, things like that. That's what the cup adds that you don't get in the league games, is that if you do get rewarded for hanging on and staying in the game. Jack, welcome to the stream. Facer delayed till 7:30. This is brilliant. Again, I will just, if everyone else agrees on that, then I will double check myself. But yes, have they still not managed to find another ambulance? That is a real shame. This game is getting later and later. Kickoff's been delayed again. Thank you, everyone. So we are now going for a time of 7:30. So we meant to get underway at 7. We were going to get underway at 7:15, but now we're getting underway at 7:30. Thank you to everyone who is keeping me on top of that. Very, very helpful. But yes, if you are just tuning in, kickoff has been delayed again till 7:30 due to a broken down ambulance. Not, as who was it said earlier? Last year between Arsenal and Chelsea, it was the wrong coloured socks, and this year between Arsenal and City, it's a broken down ambulance. So yes, we have another 15 minutes of talking to do. So if you are just tuning in, get into the chat and let's talk about what an amazing football game we're about to watch once it finally gets underway. Phil East, welcome to the stream. Says evening all. Rise is absolutely shocking. Well, you can't fault them. It's no one's fault that an ambulance has broken down, and it's not, as we know in England, it's not easy just to go find another ambulance. But yeah, we will get underway whenever they're ready to get underway. Marlon, one of the things says Chelsea versus Lyon Champions League at the Bridge penalty shootout. That is a great shout. Yes, that was the quarter-finals. If I remember rightly, it was Maren Mielda who came on to score the winning penalty. But yes, that was a really good penalty. It was heroics from Anne-Katrin Berger, I believe. I want to say, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember Berger, I think she saved 2 penalties, and then Mielda went and scored the winner for Chelsea. Jack says, longest build up of the season. Well, at this rate, we're going to kick off at 8:15. That is a joke for anyone joining. We are only kicked off at 7:30. Bernie says, at this point, they're both just scared to face Chelsea in the final. Yet no one wants to win, so neither side are going to come out for the game, and they're going to have to make a decision. The FA are going to have to make a decision. But yeah. Oh. New under the stream says, do you have any plans to cover different leagues, Liga F, NWSL? Well, we did cover some. I can't remember what the league's called now. I know it's changed now. It's not the division. It's the Premier League. In France, we watched a couple of games in there. We've watched the Scottish Women's Premiership as well. The problem with the NWSL is that for us, it would be the middle of the night. And as much as I would love to watch one of those games, it would mean we'd be out here, we'd be streaming at 1, 2, 3 a.m. So that would be it's logistically difficult. And with the Liga F, it's DAZN put it on YouTube for free, so that we don't really. There's not much. If everyone can watch the game on DAZN, then for us to stream it would be difficult. And obviously, unless it's Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Real Madrid Atletico, it's going to be a pretty comfortable game. So it's difficult to do. Lorette says, thoughts on the squad. I will go through the teams in a minute because I realise that it's nearly been at half an hour since we looked at the lineup. So I will go through I'll go through both lineups in a minute. New says, side note, it's weird seeing you be the one to read the comments. Yeah, it is rare that I'm sat here reading out comments and streaming by myself, but it's something you better get used to because it's only me this weekend for the FA Cup. So domestic cups, they're all mine. So if you are enjoying tonight, make sure to come back on Sunday for some FA Cup action where it will only be myself. But Jack will be back for the WSL in the weekend after, and obviously he's still in all the videos. I haven't recorded any videos by myself. Don't worry. Philly says German League has been great so far this season. Yeah, it's been really tight over there. With between Frankfurt, you've got Frankfurt in there, you've got Wolfsburg in there, you've got Bayern Munich in there. It's getting very, very tight at the top. Riley says, play no more delays till 7:45 or 8. Oh, there's another delay. I'll go home. No, of course I wouldn't. But yes, hopefully they will find another ambulance or fix the one that's broken down. Lucky says, Bones draw from this game due to mental health. Should have never got to. Oh yes, of course I did see I did see this, as you say, with Millie Bright as well. It's it's simple to say. It's shocking for both players to come off a football pitch and get abused and things. You don't want to see it at all. And I can understand why Clea Shaw isn't involved tonight. And it's a shame for Manchester City because she's worked so hard to get back to fitness, ready for games like this. And it's idiots in the crowd that mean that she can't play. She feels she can't play tonight. And as it's a shame. It's a real shame for Manchester City. But they've made change. They've got Caroline. I think that is going to be huge for them. And Lazel back as well. Faye says all this just draw each other in the UWCL tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we could genuinely. It would be such a crazy scenario if they had to play each other twice in the Champions League, and then if they draw each other in the next round in the FA Cup, they play each other 6 times this season. It would be absolutely absurd. HB says, what are your predictions for the draw tomorrow? I really want us Arsenal to get Wolfsburg. That lot of mistakes still haunts me. I think for Arsenal, what I love about the draw tomorrow is that whoever gets who, it's going to be a tough game. There are no easy games, and that makes it really, really difficult. Obviously, if you're, you don't want to be playing, but if you're playing Barcelona or whoever, but in terms of the way the draw works, there are no easy games for any side there, and all 4 quarterfinals will be very close and very, very interesting. But yeah, really, really good work, and in terms of not really, really good work from all the teams to get through. It's very rare that we've seen all the top sides manage to reach the quarterfinals and be in that draw. Ryzen says, and soon Jack will be at uni. So yes. So sorry, that made no sense. I said no words there. And Ryzen says, soon Jack will be at uni. So it'll be all you all the time. Yes. So you better get used to seeing me do these streams because it's going to happen a lot next season. But yeah, I panicked there because a kickoff delayed message popped up and I thought it was going to be delayed again, but no, we are still on for 7:30, so nobody panic. New says, thoughts on Yamashita starting over Chiara? Is it a form thing or just rotation? I think it's a bit of both. Another Keating error on Sunday, and I understand why Yamashita comes back in today, but it's a real problem because neither goalkeeper are playing at the standard for me. I don't think Yamashita or Keating have been good enough this season, so yeah, they need to. One of them's going to have to step up soon and be like, okay, I'm the starter, I'm going to get into form, I'm going to be at the top of my game and prove to Gareth Taylor I should start every game. At the moment, neither of them have really got into any kind of form. Maria under the screen says, who would like Chelsea to get? I'm guessing that is about the UWCL draw. Again, it's a really difficult one. I'm just trying to remember who Chelsea could play. I think. Obviously, Matt, you've got Man City's an option, but I don't think you really want to play your domestic rivals. Wolfsburg's not a nice one either, so that's the problem. It's really hard for me to say who I'd want Chelsea to get, but Ernie says Chelsea Bayern might be spicy. Yeah, that would be a very, very good game, and that's what I mean. Every single game, whoever Chelsea get, it's not going to be an easy game, even for the side that are yet to lose a game this season. Whoever they draw tomorrow is going to be a very, very difficult team to face. Montreal says, put Keating gloves on Yamashita's feet. That actually sounds like a world-class goalkeeper. Although, even this season, I don't think Keating's hands have been up to scratch, and Yamashita has yet to show that she's comfortable with the ball at her feet. So, they're both... the key that has been the problem for them, is both of their strengths have gone really poorly, have not... It's not been the case. It's been, if anything, it's been their weakest points. So yeah, both goalkeepers just need to try and put a run of form together. Mars' Keating is rubbish. I don't think she's rubbish. I think she had a really, really tough season, and it's one of those when you're a player and when you're out of form. I think that it's really difficult to get back to the top of your game. You get stuck in a rut, and week after week after week, you keep making errors, you keep playing poorly, and it's really difficult to see. That's what we're seeing with Keating. That's what we're seeing with Alexandri. So it's really, really difficult. Maria says Wolfsburg I think will be best for Chelsea. Barca Bayern could be interesting. Pity about Giorgio. Yeah, really shame to see Stanway get injured. But as you say, I think Wolfsburg for Chelsea is potentially nicer. It's hard to say. It sounds rude to Wolfsburg, But yeah, Barca Bayern could also be a good one. Right, we have 10 minutes until kickoff, so I'm going to go back through the lineups for anyone that wasn't here at the start of the stream. I know a few people have asked about them, so I will go back over them. We'll start with Arsenal then. 4-2-3-1. One change from the side on Sunday. Van Domselaar keeps her place in between the sticks. It is the same back four of Catley, Wubben-Moy, Williamson and Emily Fox. It is a pivot of Kyra Cooney-Cross and Leah Vouty. Mariona Calente goes back to the right-hand side. Alessia Russo on the left-hand side with Frida Marnham in attacking midfield, and Stina Blackstenius leads the line once again. For Manchester City, there are 3 changes from the side at the weekend. As we've been speaking about, Yamashita comes back in for Kiara Keating. Naomi Lazell returns to the Manchester City lineup for the first time since the Barcelona game at home, so a good few months out for Lazell, back in the starting 11, replacing Ua Harby. The rest of the back line stays as it was with Nak, Alexandri and Kasparai. Then this is where things get a bit interesting. We're not sure how this is going to play out, but I'm going to guess that it is a midfield 3 of Yui Hasegawa, Jill Roord and Mary Fowler. excuse me. Oh, Christ. Sorry, guys. And then a front 3 of Caroline, Miedemar and Fagino. It could be Fowler and Miedemar the other way around. So yeah, it's either Fowler in midfield and Miedemar up front, or it's Miedemar in midfield and Fowler up front. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But a return for Lazell, a first start for Caroline, and Yamashita back in net for City. 3 big changes as they try to reach a domestic final for the first time in a good 3 or 4 years. Lorette has put a predicted draw in. I'd like to see that. Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Barcelona versus Bayern, Chelsea versus Wolfsburg, and Lyon versus Man City. They are 4 cracking games of football. Like, if you are right, and that is the draw tomorrow, that would be an absolutely incredibly tight quarterfinals. And that would be brilliant to see. I'd love to see that. I think, to be honest, I think that is the 4 perfect games. Maybe Arsenal, Lyon, and then Real Madrid play Man City. Just because of the form of both sides, I think City would find it harder against Real than Arsenal would. And it's going to take someone like a Lyon to beat Arsenal. So potentially those the way around. But I do like that predicted draw. Bernie asks, if you were a player, would you either win the UWCL or the World Cup? Or the UCL or the World Cup. I'd have to say the World Cup. I think it's it only happens it's harder to win. It only happens once every 4 years. So I think it's more prestigious. It means more to win the World Cup. Because like if you don't win the Champions League, you can go again next year, and then you can go again the year after that. Whereas if you lose the World Cup, you then have to wait 4 years to have another go. So I think it means more to win the World Cup. It's harder to win it, and in terms of it doesn't happen as often, which makes it more difficult to win. But yeah, overall, I think that I'd rather win the World Cup, especially for your nation. As much as I'd love my club, especially also being from an England point of view. After losing that World Cup final to Spain in both the men's and the women's World Cups, I just want someone in an England shirt to win the World Cup. That's all I want to see in my life. Whether it's Leah Williamson or whether it's Harry Kane or whoever I don't know. Can't remember who the captains are now. But I just want to see either of those teams win a World Cup. Maria says, please just no Barca versus Real and any English teams together. I agree. I think it would be. It's less interesting to see 2 domestic sides meet each other in European competitions. So yeah, hopefully they all avoid each other. It is very difficult for that to happen because, for example, Man City have to play. They can't, I don't think they can play Barcelona. So they have to play one of Chelsea, Arsenal, or Lyon. So it's going to be difficult for that to happen. But hopefully, if it gets lucky, if it falls right, we should see no domestic encounters in the UWCL draw tomorrow. Yes, we have finally, we have 5 minutes till kickoff. So if you are tuning in, make sure to start getting those predictions rolling into the chat. Make sure you voted in the polling chat as well. Currently, 72% of people think that Arsenal will win this game. 28% will think that Manchester City will reach the final to play Chelsea. But if you are just tuning in, get your predictions in, and I will have a look at them as they come in. But we are finally going to get underway in this match in 5 minutes' time. It has been delayed twice. Hopefully, we are all okay to kick off in 5 minutes. And as Ryzen says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Do a bit of promo for me. But yes, if you are tuning in for the first time today, make sure to first time ever, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to leave a like on the stream so that other people can find it and that we know that you're enjoying these streams. Let's have a look at these predictions then. HB says 2-1 Arsenal. Ryzen has also gone 2-1 Arsenal, so two people there expecting a close game between these two sides. Jack has gone Arsenal 2, Man City 2, City win on pens. If this goes to penalties after a 45-minute delay, it's going to be one of the longest streams of the season. So let's hope that happens, because who doesn't love that? Let's see it go all the way. Let's see a tight game. But everyone in chat expecting a tight game, apart from Marlon, who's gone 5-0 Arsenal. So not going against the crowd in terms of the result, but going against the crowd in terms of the scoreline. But fair enough, expecting Arsenal to absolutely tank Man City. I would be surprised. Masak Moraes, is Bunny Shaw playing? No. She's chosen to sit out tonight after the abuse she suffered after the Arsenal game, which is a shame to see, because she is back to full fitness and she will be ready for selection when she feels ready. But of course, if she doesn't want to play, then that is absolutely fair enough, and it does mean that Caroline comes in for Manchester City tonight. Big game for her, first start, League Cup semi-final. What a game for her to come into, and if she makes it, it's a tighter game. If she makes a difference, it could turn out to be an incredible signing. But we will have to wait and see. But yeah, as I said, there's a couple of predictions in there. Everyone so far going for an Arsenal win, apart from Jack, who said City would win on penalties. But I can confirm we have players standing ready to enter the pitch. We have fans who are expecting kickoff. The poor people have stood there for nearly an hour now, waiting for this game to kick off. But we are going to get underway soon at Meadow Park. It's a shame it's at Meadow Park. I thought someone said it was at the Emirates, but unfortunately it is not. So it is Meadow Park, but it's a packed out Meadow Park, and it is a Meadow Park that expects Arsenal tonight to show their prowess in this League Cup competition and go on to reach the final, to set up a third successive matchup in the Women's League Cup with Chelsea. Two sides are entering the pitch now, so I'm going to get my prediction in. Everyone seems to have gone for an Arsenal win. I'm going to go against it. I think there's something about Man City. I look at the way they responded to it when they played Manchester United. They lost the league game. They went on to win the cup game. I think they'll do the same tonight. Lazel's a really, really key player coming back in. I think she offers them something different defensively. Just a little bit more solid. She's not as attacking as Uahabi, and that could be absolutely key for Manchester City tonight. I also think Caroline is going to come in and make a difference. So I'm going to go Arsenal 1, Manchester City 2. And very similar to that quarter-final, Man City will just about squeeze through. And I will go for goals from, I think, City will take the lead through Mary Fowler, because she's been in incredible form recently. Arsenal will then level up through Mariona Caldente. And then it'll be a winner for Manchester City from none other than Caroline. I think it's written in the stars tonight. Her first start, League Cup semi-final, and she comes in and scores a goal. But yes, we have 22 players on the football pitch. We have it does look to be that Miedemar will play in the midfield role and Fowler will lead the line. I really hope Gareth Taylor hasn't done that, because as we've seen from recent weeks, Miedemar is much better leading the line, and Mary Fowler can play in that more attacking midfield role. But we will wait and see. But for City, you feel it has to be a win. They have to respond from Sunday. They're in a really difficult and precarious position right now in all competitions. Tonight, it would be absolutely massive if they could get a win over the line. Both sides are taking a moment to warm up again. Obviously, they did their warm-ups. They went into the dressing rooms and then they've sat in there for about half an hour So both sides just going through a bit of a second warm up. I guess you could call it. Big game for both sides, and we are going to get underway. Kirsty Dowell in the middle for both sides tonight. Hopefully, no controversy like we saw on Sunday. We don't want to see any dodgy penalties. We don't want to see any stupid goals being ruled out or red cards or whatever. We want to see a really fair game of football for two really good players. And there's a player there right now in Leia Alexandri who needs a good game tonight. Been out of form recently, really struggled. Scored no goal against Villa. Handed Arsenal their first goal on Sunday. She is a player that really needs a good performance tonight. And as I said, what feels like ages ago, because it was at the very top of the stream, City, they have to keep things calm, they have to remain composed, no errors early doors, but finally, we have found an ambulance, we have 22 players on the football pitch, and Mary Fowler is going to get us underway for our second Subway Women's League Cup semi-final. Who will join Chelsea at Pride Park in March? We have 90 minutes or more, if we need it, to decide who will reach that final. Manchester City with the ball. Mary Fowler will knock it back, and we are underway finally in this Subway Women's League Cup semi-final. Smashed along by Yamashita, and City looking to put early pressure onto Arsenal. Russo does well to turn out, finds Blackstenius, goes back to Emily Fox. Back to Williamson, who goes long. Blackstenius looks to hold it up. It's won back though by Kasperite. Here is Knack on the ball. Knack back to Yamashita. And this is what I mean for City. Just get on the ball and just compose. No silly passes, no stupid errors. And they're 5 seconds away from starting better than they did at the weekend. They've done it. 45 seconds played and City haven't conceded. Already better than Sunday. Well done, Man City. Ball long from Alexandri. Swept up well by Lotta Wubben-Moy, who I think came in and played superbly at the weekend. Did really well stepping in and winning the ball back. Obviously, she scored the goal. A really nice header. So, I think she looked really comfortable and deserves to start again. Williamson loses the ball, though. Here's Mary Fowler. Looks to find Caroline, but cut out by Emily Fox. And the ball is back with Daphne Van Domselaar. Van Domselaar doesn't quite get that right, but it will fall to Alessia Russo on this right-hand side. Vauti looks to play to Cooney Cross. It's a poor pass, though. Fagino will pounce on it. Fagino, a player who had a really, really good game on that right-hand side against Catley a few days ago. Wubben-Moy there, though, manages to put it out for a throw, and Man City will look to recycle it. But yeah, that battle, I think, between Fagino and Catley is one to watch tonight. Fagino got the better of the fullback many times on Sunday. And we're hoping to do the same thing this time. Throw from Lazelle goes to Fagino, who manages to switch it all the way across to Cash. So it looks to be Cashbry, by the way, playing at left back. And Lazelle goes to right back. So Cashbry not on her favoured side, but I think it just accommodating to bring Lazelle back in to offer a bit more defensively. And to give Uahabi a rest, really. Rebecca Knack dawdling on the ball and forced to knock it out of play. Good pressure from Frida Marnham. And Arsenal have it back. Williamson across to Van Domselaar. Plenty of time for the goalkeeper. Just stood in the edge of the area. No one from City really getting involved. Fowler will now engage. Williamson plays it inside to Mariona Caldente. Caldente out wide to Catley. On the overlap. Goes back to Caldente. Ball into Blackstenius. Flicks it round the corner to Catley. Catley looks to go direct to Frida Marnham. Doesn't quite get there though. Alexandri does well. Lazelle looks to find Fagino, but a heavy touch sees that out for an Arsenal throw. Catley getting very high on that left-hand side. And Caldente doing well just to tuck in. And if that is what you're going to do, I can understand from an Arsenal point of view if they played Catley to go a bit more defensive. But if you are going to play Catley bombing on down that left-hand side, why would you not bring Katie McCabe back in? City win it back, though. And here comes Viviana Miedemar on the charge. Looks to send through Caroline, but that is won back well by Emily Fox. Sharp though from Miedemar, trying to find that through ball to Caroline. Fox doesn't deal with it well though, and Hasegawa picks up on the clearance, and City will regain the ball. So by the way, it is Miedemar in that midfield role with Mary Fowler leading the line. It's an interesting decision. Caroline looks to reverse it to Kasparai, blocked by Fox. Man City throw. And Caroline on the throw now. Big game for her tonight. I think that if she can if she can make the difference, then that would be, I mean, what a start that would be. But for her first start, you think she'll just want to get on the ball and try and make a difference, try and just impact the game, have a say. Got caught out there by the fact that there's been about 3 different sidelines painted on here at Meadow Park. The pitch has obviously been shifted. That's a poor pass from Lazell that's pounced on by Caurente. Cuts it back to Marnham. Marnham goes to Kyra Cooney-Cross. Caurente. Back to Steph Catley. Catley to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy dispossessed by Fagino and plays it to Miedemar, and here come Man City once again. That's another pass from Miedemar, cut out by Leah Williamson, who just passed it straight into the path of Yui Hasegawa. Hasegawa looks to play a blinder, a through ball to Fagino, doesn't quite come off, and will roll through to Daphne van Domselaar. First 5 minutes, though, as expected, a little bit cagey, a little bit nervy. This is a very different, especially after Sunday, this is a very, very different game. That was a free-flowing, open match. This is different. This is a semi-final. This is a bigger game. Ball down the line into Blackstenius. Lets it run, though. And it for an Arsenal throw. Knack did get a touch. Blackstenius will leave it for Emily Fox to take. Fox into Blackstenius. Here is Leia Vauti, receives it on the turn, looks to play through Caurente, huge interception from Alexandri to stop that ball going through. Clearance isn't good enough over from City, and it falls back to Vauti. Cooney-Cross goes back to Wubben-Moy. Here is Steph Catley. Back to Cooney-Cross. Cooney-Cross looks to cut it back. She gets the wrong side of Alexandri. Blackstenius will get there. It's a bit of a scramble. Man City managed to stick it away. And Mary Fowler does really well there to hold it up and play out for Gino. Back to Naomi Lazell. City getting themselves back on the ball. Arsenal there with a slide opportunity. As Cooney-Cross wriggled her way into the penalty area. Dealt with, though, by, I think it was Knack in the end. He managed to get the ball clear. Yeah, this is really edgy, really nervy from both sides. Neither side wants to give anything away. But that's what you expect in a semi-final. Better from City. Miedemar finds a brilliant ball out to Caroline. Caroline against Fox. Plays it back inside. And it's a good strike from Rord, and it's a good save from Daphne van Domselaar. Better from Man City. They managed to play through the Arsenal press, play some really nice football. Miedemar played a lovely ball into Caroline, who cuts it back to Rord, who manages to hit the target, but well saved by Daphne van Domselaar, who managed to recover and claim it. Caroline does well, lays it off to Jill Rord. It's not a bad strike, but it's a good save from the Arsenal goalkeeper. First shot of the game goes to City. Better. They just moved the ball a little bit quicker, and it paid off, and they managed to get themselves a chance. Here is Russo to Caudente. Here is Marnham into Blackstenius. Blackstenius back to Mariona Caudente. Cooney-Cross. Here is Frida Marnham. Arsenal, they're playing some good football. They've got to find a way to get forwards. Caudente plays a good ball out to Fox. Fox is forced back inside, though, and finds Leia Vauti. Plays a 1-2 of Williamson. Vauti's pounced on by Hasegawa, and City have it back. But then Vauti wins it off Rord, and here comes Fox, who then gives it back to Fowler. Neither side can hold on to the ball here. Falls to Marnham, has a tame effort, and that will roll into the arms of Yamashita. That midfield battle is so tight. Neither side can it can hold on to the ball. Fox won it and then lost it, and then Fowler, who won it off Fox, gave it back to Vauti, and then it just bobbled away to Marnham, who ended up if anything, just passing it back to Yamashita. Firmino there, bullied off the ball by Catley. City wanted a foul, referee says nothing in it. Firmino though trying to win it off Ruben Moy. Ruben Moy does well, tries to play a ball through to Steen Ratsenius, but that is swept up well by Leo Alexandri. Yamashita across to Nak. City looking to move this ball forwards. City much happy with the start they've made in this game. Really competitive. You know, it's very even at the moment. They look much more in the contest than they did a couple of days ago. It's exactly what they wanted. First 10 minutes, nothing silly. Just to settle and see the game out. And that has to be that is not see that in terms of settle and just let the game not fizzle out, but let the game just come to a slow. Poor pass from Williamson, pounced on by Hasegawa, but again, it's a very gritty battle in the midfield, and Arsenal managed to come away with it. Fox bursting down the right-hand side, goes to Russo, puts the ball in, it goes across the penalty area with nobody touching it, and Lazel can deal with it at the far post. Rivelenov there for City. Let a ball just flash across their box there. And yeah, just I don't know. No one in Arsenal shirt was there to get anything on it. It was behind Blacksenius, and no one else had made the run along the edge of the area. Yamashita to Alexandri. If City can get a win and a clean sheet, it's a tight result that could transform their season. Valti goes back to Williamson. And I said this, we're talking about this in the build-up, in terms of how Lea Valti can just bring a little bit more control in that midfield, and that's exactly what she's doing for Arsenal. It's been a really tight battle in there. It's been very scrappy, but more often than not, it's Lea Valti who's coming away with the ball. Van Domselaar on the ball. Looks to find Catley, doesn't find her, and instead finds Lazel. Here is Alexandri. Feels his camera crew really enjoying focusing on people ignoring the ball at times. You get that. I just sat there and watched Rene Slagers for 10 seconds. I wondered what on earth was going on the pitch. Arsenal were knocking the ball around. Glad they didn't come forwards. Here is Rord. Rord to Nak. Arsenal definitely not as aggressive as they were in the league game, which is understandable because it means that City are just Arsenal have got it's a lower block from City from Arsenal, sorry, and it's a bit of a standoff at the moment where City just have the ball in the halfway line. They can't find a way into the Arsenal half, but they have found one here with Jill Rord. Rord out to Caroline. Caroline versus Fox. Caroline shuffles past her, but that's really good defending from Valti, who reads what Caroline wants to do and manages to win the ball back. Van Domselaar is forced to clear out. Hospital pass back to her from Valti. Put her under pressure and no nonsense from the Arsenal goalkeeper. But Caroline, every time, she's looking sharp, looking to try and take on Fox. Tried to come inside there and was stopped by Lea Valti. Here is Firmino running direct at Catley. Catley's backtracking. Here's Rord. Again, we spoke about this. Firmino's directness massively improving her fortunes recently. And again, we're seeing it tonight. Alexandri into Fowler. Fowler to Ford. Rord, sorry. Kasperai. Back to Rebecca Nak. City again, trying to find a way through. And I said this would be a problem. I don't understand why Taylor has put Miedemar back in midfield and put Fowler up front. Miedemar has had so much joy playing as that number 9, and for some reason he's changed it again. Fowler could easily play that attacking midfield role. I don't understand why Miedemar's playing deeper tonight, because they're missing that presence up front. Because City right now, they're struggling to find a way through Arsenal. If they had Miedemar, they could just get the ball out wide and cross it in, or they could go direct into her. But because she's playing in midfield, it doesn't have that same effect. And it was a problem that we realised City had Gareth Taylor then fixed it, and now he's gone and broken it again. It's like screwing something tighter and then just going around and unscrewing it again. What's the point? A really bizarre decision from Gareth Taylor to swap those two tonight. Alexandri finds Rord in a bit of space, who looks to play it through to Fowler. Fowler beats off Wooben Moy. Arsenal thinks it's a foul. It falls to Rord. Here's now for Gino. For Gino to Cash Bryan on the edge of the area, who has a shot. And that will be an Arsenal goal kick well over the bar. And Arsenal got caught out a bit there. Asking for the foul. And it didn't come. They felt that Fowler was too strong on Wooben Moy. Kirsty Dow didn't think so. And Williamson did well to recover, because Fowler, it's good strength, it's not a foul. I don't understand what Wooben Moy's complaints are. Luckily, her centre-half partner was covering for her. And then City just shifted it around the penalty area until Cash Bryan had a shot on the edge of the area that went well over. But yeah, led off a little bit there for Wooben Moy. Was too weak in the challenge, and then complained that she was fouled. Russo looks to hold it up, pounced on by Rord. Rord back to Caroline. Knack. Cross to Alexandri, and as Phil says, Lotta had to be stronger there, yeah. 100%. Because if Williamson wasn't covering round to put in a good tackle, Mary Fowler would have had a shooting opportunity there. And Wooben Moy would have been to blame, because she tried, I don't know if she tried to take the foul, or, as you say, if she just wasn't strong enough. Because Fowler, it was fair and square. And Wooben Moy ended up hitting the deck. Lays out. Forced into a bit of a silly situation there by the Arsenal press, and the Gunners win it back. Vouty to Williamson. Really good press that from Arsenal. Just cornered Lazel and forced her to play it out the pitch and to a red shirt. Unless something gives tonight, this game could remain very similar until we get all the way to penalties. Because neither side have... It is just really even. Here is Jill Rord, though. I think City have looked a little bit sharper coming forwards. Arsenal are definitely sitting deeper. And trying, they understand the importance of the game. They're trying to conserve and just stay in the game, if anything. Which is surprising, saying how easy they found it on Sunday. But it is a semi-final. I understand why Slagers wants to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more patient. But they've got to be careful that it doesn't hurt them and City pounce. But as we've seen with Man City and low blocks do not go hand in hand. They really struggle to break them down. So maybe it's the way to go. But it means the game's a lot tighter and there's a lot less... but in terms of there's a lot less clear-cut chances. If based on how this game is being played, if one side gets a good chance tonight, they have to take it. If not, we're going 0-0 all the way through to spot kicks. Yeah, a tough one, really, for both sides. Just you don't want to give anything away. Here's for Gino, ball in, headed away by Wooben Moy. Good Arsenal kind of sat in their own penalty area at the moment. I can't remember the last one they left there at half. Feels like she's a good ball playing defender, but needs to play more aggression. If not, it's too similar to Williamson. I agree. I think they are very, very similar. And you're right. If Wooben Moy could add a bit more fight, a bit more steel into her game, then it would create a difference. And it would also help her individual game. Fox does really well to run past Caroline there. Here is Emily Fox. Goes to Russo. Russo back to Fox. Fox to Williamson. Here is Daphne Van Domselaar. Wooben Moy tries to find Calrente, cut out by Larry Alexandri. Here is Hasegawa. Back to Knack. Lays out to Rord. Rord to Virgino. Virgino skips past Catley. Really good from the Man City winger. Here is Hasegawa to Lazell. The problem is for both sides tonight is that every time they win the ball back, it's not how can I play this forwards. It's right. I'm just going to turn around and play this backwards. That is that semi-final feeling. It's neither side wants to is risking any forward passes for Gino. That's a good cross though, headed away by Leia Valti. And we talked again. When we analysed it. Oh, hang on, City won the ball back high up in the penalty area, and Fowler gets a shot away, and it will go out for a goal kick, which I'm surprised at because I thought Daphne Van Domselaar tipped that over. But really good for City. It was Lazell who pounced on the edge of the area to win the ball back. Carente got caught, and similar to what she did on Sunday, she just kicked it backwards and ended up passing it to Fowler. And she did the same for the Miedemar goal in the league. Really bizarre one, that, from Carente. Just kicks the ball back into her penalty area, and that time she's fortunate it doesn't end in a goal. But as I was saying, it's neither side is risking any forward passes at all. Daphne Van Domselaar, by the way, is down here for Arsenal. It does look to be injury related rather than game stoppage related. But opportunity for the Gunners to have a discussion. But yeah, Carente loses the ball on the edge of the penalty area, just pokes it, tries to poke it back to someone, and ends up just poking it to Mary Fowler, who has a shot that ends up going over. But hopefully Van Domselaar is okay to continue. But a game that I think that both sides will be, they'll be content with how the first 20 minutes has been played. And I think that one side is going to have to give. Something is going to give in this football match. Just intrigued to see when and what. It might not. And then that'll be a real shame because it will be 0-0 all the way through the penalties. But this game, something will happen that could click this game into life. But so far, 20 minutes played, no goals for either side. Van Domselaar still down here for Arsenal. Seems to be a problem with her right knee. Zinsberger sent out to warm up, but Van Domselaar looks to be getting back to her feet and looks to be okay to continue. So, a relief for Arsenal fans. No injury for Van Domselaar, so the last thing you need when your team's in good form and you're getting to the business end of the season. You don't want to see your goalkeeper going down, but it all looks to be okay for Van Domselaar. And Arsenal will restart the game with a goal kick. Interesting there. Williamson has given an instruction to Van Domselaar, and then Van Domselaar's gone and given that instruction to Wooben Moy. So we'll be intrigued to see what that was between the two centre-halves and their goalkeeper. Williamson then, with the goal kick, fires it into the feet of Alessia Russo, who does really well. Good turn. Ends up turning into Leila Alexandri, who then clears it into Gilrod's head, so the referee will stop the game. I think it's Gilrod. Still can't quite. Who is that on the floor? That is... I think... I still can't work out who this is. Whoever it was took a... I think it's Kasparov, actually. Took a decent blow. Russo turns, takes a heavy touch, and Alexandri just thunders into it and ends up leathers it into her teammate's head. So a bit of a sore one for Kasparov. Hopefully she's alright. But this game is stopped once again. Yeah, Gareth Taylor sharing a few words with his assistant manager. Probably working out what their plan is, really. We're halfway through the first half, and well, it's not been... I think it was Riley who earlier predicted that the game would be another goal fest. And, well, I hate to disappoint you, Riley, and anyone else who was hoping for a goal fest, but it's not quite what we've got so far. But again, it's a semi-final. It's going to be tense. It's going to be nervy. Neither side wants to lose this. We've got an Arsenal side here who love this competition, who are famously seem to win this competition every year. And we've got a City side who desperately not only need a win, but need to win a trophy. And a manager who is feeling the pressure right now. With recent results not going their way, with them slipping out of the top 3, it's a Man City side who desperately need a win. And a piece of silverware. Years without silverware. Something has to change. And that's why in games like this, it is a little bit edgy. Because they know how much they want to win. But Kasparov is back to her feet. And looks okay to continue. But yeah. Hopefully we'll get back underway shortly. So a stoppage for a Van Domselaar injury, which was alright. And a stoppage for a Kasparov blow to the head. But she looks to be alright as well. So we will get back underway in this game with a drop ball. And Alexandri will go back to Yamashita. Blackstenius was interested in that pass. And in the end, the City goalkeeper is forced to knock it out for a throw. Caldente plays it quickly to Blackstenius. Possessed by Lazel, who falls over the football. Luckily, Miedemar can come away with it, but Valti sweeps up. Freedom Marnham to Caldente. Caldente loses it to Viviana Miedemar, who knocks it to herself, and City coming forward now. Miedemar to Fowler. Fowler bursts away from Wooben Moy. Has a go herself. Oh, what a strike from Mary Fowler. And City lead. And a player who's in brilliant form has found an absolute beauty of an effort. Thunders it past Van Domselaar into the top corner. And Manchester City breaking away after winning the ball back off Arsenal. And Mary Fowler with an absolute cracker to fire City in front. What a strike. A top player in top form fires it to the back of the net. It's a type of strike that breaks the goal net. A superb effort from the Man City forward. It's a really good breakaway from Viviana Miedemar, who lays it off to Fowler, who from such a tight angle smashes it across the goal and picks out that top corner superbly. Manchester City lead here. And like they did in the quarter-final, when they lost to Man United in the league, they responded in the League Cup. And they lost to Arsenal in the league on Sunday, and they are responding in the League Cup. They've won the ball back heart of the pitch again. Here's Caroline. She's forced to go backwards and finds Kasparov. What a goal that is. For Mary Fowler. A player who is playing some top quality football right now. Has just found another brilliant strike. Bernie says, real objective of this match, despite that goal's been an intriguing watch, it has been an intriguing watch, and we now have a goal. Instant response from Man City, straight from that drop ball. They gave the ball away to Arsenal immediately. They managed to win it back and just pounce. And now City are coming forward again. Caroline looks to find Miedemar cut out by Mariona Caldente. Just says, what a player indeed. Mary Fowler playing some beautiful football. Playing at the top of her game and stepping up when Man City need her most. Credit to Miedemar as well. She did really well. She managed to knock it past Williamson, run onto it, lays it off to Mary Fowler, but from that angle, wouldn't have backed her to find the back of the net. But in the form she's in, how dare I even suggest that she wasn't going to score from there? And City have the lead. Asagawa to Miedemar. Space is opening up for the away side now. Ball out wide to Caroline. Brings it down and is apparently offside. That's disappointing. That was a great ball from Miedemar, but apparently Caroline's gone too early. And Arsenal play it short. And they're put under some pressure by Manchester City. And City are rewarded with the ball back. Asagawa to Nak. Nak to Alexandri. And this is the thing with Man City, is if they can avoid individual errors, that they go back to looking like a top side. Just been too many games in the last few weeks where they've handed the opposition goals, and that will encourage Arsenal. They know this City team have definitely got a mistake in them. So got to keep at it. Got to keep on them. Alexandri goes long, picks out Rord. One back by Roy. But I said it in the build-up. We said it on Sunday. I understand that Caitlin Ford is injured. But putting Alessia Russo on this right-hand side and putting Blackstenius through the middle just does not work. Russo's ineffective on the right, and Blackstenius isn't offering anything up front. And it's costing Arsenal massively. Because every time they get forward, they've got nothing in the box. Because their star striker this season, who's been in brilliant form, is currently playing on the right wing. And Blackstenius, who, while she's scoring, isn't playing her best stuff. It's just not working. And when you've got the likes of Rosa Kafaji on the bench, you have to ask, well, why is Slagers persisting with playing Russo and Blackstenius? It just does not work. Simple as that. And it's costing Arsenal because they've got no presence up front. Caldente just about holds onto it into midfield. Gets it wide to Catley. Looks to send it up the line, but blocked by Lazell. Lazell's been key for City as well. You know, more defensive fullback. Offers a little bit more just offers them more defensively. Organisational wise and just having extra player there. Unlike Uahabi and Kashbrai, who both like to bomb on and get forward, Lazell is happier to sit. Fox nearly loses the ball on the edge of the area to Caroline, but just about pokes it back to her goalkeeper. But on her first start, City's new signing looking to pounce on the Arsenal backline. Rord loses the ball. Russo pokes it out for a Man City free kick. Half an hour gone here at Meadow Park then. City leading by a goal to nil. Really good response from last year's runners-up in the OSL, who haven't reached a domestic final in a good few years now. They'll be hoping that can change. I say good, it has only been a couple, but that's a couple years too many. With the quality in their squad, with the ability they possess on and off the pitch, Man City should be reaching finals more consistently. But they now find themselves an hour away from reaching this year's Women's League Cup final. Arsenal, though, will definitely have something to say about it. Ball fired long by Man City. Something's been given in the middle of the pitch, though. Think it's a free kick for Knack. Just caught by Marnham. As Marnham challenges for the ball, Knack clears it. Marnham just catches the centre half on the way through. So it will be a Manchester City free kick. Yeah, City will just aim to just see out the way they've responded to go 1-0 up. They're looking just to see out this result until half time, and then go again in the second half. Arsenal, they'll want to respond before that interval, but City just get themselves on the ball, controlling the ball and controlling the game. Phil says, I want to see Russo in the 10. Marnham is a good D goal scorer, but prefer a more creative player in the whole. I just think overall that they should just play Russo. And you've got Kafaji, you've got other players who can play there. Alessia Russo's been in brilliant form this season when she's led the line. She is a striker. She's a number 9. She's one of the best number 9s in the world. And when she's being consistent, she causes problems for any team in football. She doesn't cause problems when she's out on the right-hand side or playing anywhere else. That is a really good turn from her, though. Spins Kasparai and looks to come forward. Shifts it out left to Caldente. Caldente lays it into Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross has a great switch to Fox, who's just on a different wavelength with Russo. Bit of a mix-up, and Fox's pass will roll out for a goal kick. Russo ran one way, Fox played the pass the other. Just a miscommunication. And Fox recognising that with her teammate. 12 minutes to go, though. In this first half. Work to do for Renee Slagers and Arsenal. Yeah, by the way, 151 votes in the poll in chat. 72% thinking Arsenal are going to win. 28% of people thinking Man City will win. They are currently right. There's still a long way to go in this football match. Alexandri sends it long into Fowler. Fowler does well up against Lotte Wubben-Moy again. Pass though is intercepted by Kyra Cooney-Cross. And the Arsenal Aussie comes away with the ball. Williamson sends the ball long. That is a good ball over the top to Stina Blackstenius, who will take it in her stride. Gilshu will get a shot away, but it's blasted high and wide. And that's what I mean. Arsenal have not had chances tonight. They get it. It's a good ball over the top from Blackstenius, who just lashes at it. And again, if it's an informed player, if that's Alessia Russo, they at least it's got to hit the target. Outrunning Alexandri, just hits it with her left foot, miles wide. That's never going in. It just hits it way too aggressively and sends it sailing over the bar. And it was a tight angle, I know, but when you look at the angle that Mary Fowler's just scored from, it makes Blackstenius' angle look pretty open. Yamashita under pressure goes to Alexandri. Alexandri to Lazel. Lazel back to Alexandri. Poor pass though. Intercepted by Vouty. Marnham caught on the ball though. And Manchester City will have it back. Here is Alexandri. Much better tonight from Alexandri. Last couple of games has looked really, really poor. But the first 35 minutes here has looked very, very comfortable. Looks assured in possession. Looks controlled. Looks calm. Which is something that we haven't seen from her in the last couple of weeks. Arsenal with a throw. Goes back to Wubben-Moy. Cut out by Lazel. Cooney-Cross's interception is out for a Man City throw. Arsenal felt that took a touch off the Manchester City player, but apparently not. Lazel goes back to Yamashita. Here is Man City's captain, Alexandri. Playing 1-2s with Lazel. It gets a little bit messy. They get all crossed up. But Lazel just about manages to play out of it and hold on to the ball. Not quite sure how on earth she's held on to possession there. Had two players hounding her down and they looked like they'd won it back at one point. But Lazel did well just to dig in and be strong. Alexandri into Rord. Jill Rord forced to go backwards to her centre half. Asagawa receives it onto the turn, turns straight into trouble though. Fortunately for her, it ricochets off Russo and falls to Rebecca Knack. Could have fallen though to a Arsenal player and Man City would have been in trouble. Miedema plays it to Ford. Ford to Knack. City bringing the ball up the pitch now. Knack, that's a poor pass, plays it straight to Alessia Russo, who will send it down the line to Stina Blackstenius, who looks to cut it back to Marnham. It's a poor pass from Stina Blackstenius. It's cut out by Alexandri. Another Arsenal chance wasted by Stina Blackstenius before it's even got started. Has to be a better pass there to Marnham. She just doesn't put enough on it and Alexandri just walks in and intercepts it. And after Russo does the hard part to win the ball back out of the pitch and lay it through to Blackstenius, the Swedish striker has to just do better there. Arsenal with possession of their own now. Here is Leah Williamson. Cooney-Cross, superb ball retention to dribble past two players. Does really well just to hold on to it there. Is forced backwards eventually though. But a nice piece of footwork initially. Here is Van Domselaar. Plays it long, looking for Blackstenius. Easily cut out by Knack. Just not working for Arsenal right now. Not getting the ball into their attacking options. They're lacking a lot in forward areas at the moment. I think Caitlin Ford getting injured has hurt them a little bit. Here is Russo. Looks to play it through the back. Senius Katawai Hasagawa falls back to Alessia Russo. Russo back to Fox. Fox to Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross to Leia Williamson. Williamson will send it through to Blackstenius. Cut out by Knack. Caroline's on the ball. Hassled by Fox. Caroline knocks it past one. Knocks it past two. Really good from the Man City winger. Goes to Jill Rord. Goes one further wide to Fagino. Fagino finds Rord. Rord on the edge of the area. Has a go. What a save by Van Donstar. Fowler follows up and it's in and it's two, but she's offside. Flag up on Fowler. And Arsenal will breathe a sigh of relief. Because again, it's really good from Manchester City. They move the ball forward very nicely. Fagino cuts it back to Rord. Rord does well. Finds a bit of space in the penalty area. Unleashes a shot. Saved and parried by Van Domslaar. Forced to Mary Fowler, who was deemed to be in an offside position. We'll have another look here. Here is Fagino. Cuts it back to Rord. Rord, it's a good shot. Parried to Fowler. Fowler does well to finish from a tight angle, but the flag's up. I'll be intrigued to watch that one back again. I think she was offside. I'll be honest, I forgot what I was actually meant, what part of that replay I was meant to be watching. Rather than the finish, watching where Fowler was standing. But yeah, I think it's the right decision. I have to see a better replay for that. 5 minutes to go though. City did have the ball in the back of the net for a second time, but it won't count. Here is Rord coming forward again. Forced to Kasperai. Kerstin Kasperai is forced backwards to Knack, who's fallen over the ball, and Blackstenius will pounce. Blackstenius versus Alexandri. Arsenal coming forward. It's a really good tackle from Alexandri, but again from Blackstenius, it is not good enough. She's one-on-one with Alexandri, a player who's been out of form, and Alexandri's running backwards, and Blackstenius doesn't make enough of it. You know, it's another error there from City. You know, Knack has fallen over the football, and Arsenal don't punish. Odd one runs the strings. How was that offside? My best, Mary Fowler would have been in an offside position when Rord took the shot. Alexandri is dispossessed by Marnham on the edge of the area, but Hasagawa recovers well. But yeah, so when Rord took the shot, Fowler would have been in an offside position. Will be the reason. Here's Caroline. Skips past Leia Vauti. City coming on strong at the end of the half, looking to double their lead. Rord to Fagino. Fagino going direct at Catley. Gets the ball in. Has a shot herself. And it is well saved by Van Domselaar. Like that from Fagino. Once again, running direct at Catley. Cuts it on her left foot. Tries to catch out Daphne Van Domselaar at a near post. But well read by the Arsenal goalkeeper. But Man City pushing for a second goal in the latter stages of the first half. P3 Massive say only one team, once the string says only one team is playing. City have had control of this first half, definitely. Arsenal haven't really made a dent. They've had very few chances and they've not done enough with the chances that they have had. And City, with all of the ball, leading in this match and looking in control. You're right. But as we know with the semi-finals, we know with a game like this, all it takes for Arsenal is one chance and they're right back in the game. And that's the thing. As City have played very, very well, don't get me wrong, and they're coming on strong at the end of the half, pushing for that second goal. But if they don't find a second goal and it remains at 1-0, then there's every chance that Arsenal could easily find an equaliser. Yamashita. Across to Alexandri. Here's Lazell. Lazell to Fagino. Fagino back to Rord. Rord back to Lazell, who goes back to Alexandri, who will play it across to Rebecca Knack. Centre halves sharing quite a few passes here. It's Alexandri who then start to move it forwards. Looks to play a lovely ball into Miedemar and picks her out perfectly. Miedemar to Caroline. Caroline stands up. Fox gets the better of her, puts the ball across the box. It's palmed by Van Domslaar straight to Fagino, and it's well blocked there by Steph Catley. City going forward again. Caroline will have a shot. It's deflected and it's well caught by the Arsenal goalkeeper. Really good pressure this from Man City. Testing Van Domslaar, but she is equal to everything they're throwing her at the moment. Caroline does 2 really good pieces of play. Skips past Fox, puts the ball across the box. Van Domslaar can parry it only far as Fagino, who fires her shot straight into the midriff of Steph Catley. It was recycled well by City. Falls to Caroline again, who has her shot deflected by Fox and straight into the arms of Van Domslaar. Yeah. While we're watching those replays, there was a foul, apparently by Jill Roord. She has gone in the book for it. And Steph Catley has only just got up. Missed that because we were watching the replays there. But yeah, so an Arsenal free kick and Jill Roord on a yellow card. Gonna see what happens here. The ball goes out. Ooh. I'm confused as to why Roord's been booked. I will just I'm intrigued to just double check that booking. Because it was Lazell who committed the foul, but I'm very sure it was Jill Roord who picked up the yellow card. I may be wrong, but we'll wait and see. Williamson. We are going to see an additional 6 minutes in this first half. We have had a couple of injuries, but that is a lot of added time for a first half. And it's Arsenal coming forwards at the end of this 45. Ball across the box. It's cleared well by Kasperai to stop the onrushing Marnham. 6 minutes. That is a lot of time. Can Arsenal respond? It's been all Man City in this first half, but towards the end of this 45, Arsenal are coming forwards. Marnham to Blacksenius, and Blacksenius is offside again. It was the story of Sunday, and it's happened again tonight. Stina Blacksenius offside. She's got to get better at timing that run. She was offside 3 times against Man City on Sunday, and she's been caught offside twice already tonight. Monteraf says, I don't know why Arsenal's just sitting deep. City always gets some goals even against a low block. Well, I mean, City aren't the greatest against low blocks. I think they do struggle sometimes, but I agree. Arsenal are sitting a lot deeper than they did on Sunday. If anything, it's been too cautious, and I think it's Arsenal just tried to play it too safe. You know, on Sunday we saw them. They were at City. They were hungry. They were running after them. They were aggressive from minute one. And I get that this is a semi-final, but I think they've just played it too safe in this first half. They've sat, as you say, they've sat deep. They've gone for a low block. They're trying to absorb pressure, and it's just not worked. You know, they're playing like they're massive underdogs when they're really not. They're probably the slight favourites going into this game. Yet they're playing like they're massively up against it. Corner put in by Arsenal, punched away by Yamashita, falls to Caldente. Fox puts the ball back in, but that is claimed easily by the Manchester City goalkeeper, who will take her time to get up. We are through 2 minutes of the 6 additional. Arsenal ending this half on a positive note so far. But again, I think there's work to be done at half-time, work to be done in the second half. They have been outplayed by Man City in this first half. And I think tactically, Slagers has got it wrong. Williamson wins the header. Will fall to Marnham. Picked off by Hasegawa, only as far as Alessia Russo. Russo spins it to Fox. Fox to Vouty. Vouty loses the ball, but luckily it spills out to Williamson. Van Domslaar into Cooney Cross. Plays it to Leah Williamson. This is better football from Arsenal. Jill Roord pokes it out for a throw. Fox will take it. Emily Fox forced to go backwards by Caroline. Williamson plays a random floated ball into the middle of the pitch. Header by Miedemar falls to Vouty. Cooney cross to William Moy. To Vouty, who gives it to Williamson, who fires it up the line again. This time Blacksenius will get there. Does well to beat Knack. Coming inside. Kasparov gets a good tackle in. Caldente will fight for it and she will win it back. Pokes it to Russo. Cut out by Miedemar. Only as far as Vouty. Russo's down on the deck on the edge of the area. Here's Emily Fox. Fox cuts it back. Miedemar intercepts and the game will have to be stopped because Russo's gone down with a head injury. Shame for Arsenal because they're the ones coming forward, but obviously it has to be stopped due to precautions. Yeah, tackle from Miedemar just caught Russo on the face. Nothing in it at all, not a foul. Just accidental. Phil says his Arsenal squad needs some variety. Full of players who need to be on the ball to be effective. Stevens is the only player in the squad who stretches this pitch, who runs in behind. That is true. I think, yes, you're right. They have a lot of similar players. Players who want to do the same thing, always try the same thing. And as you say, yes, even if, even as Blacksenius is that player who does want to get in behind, the problem is she's always offside. If she can time the run better, then she can be such a dangerous forward. But especially against this Man City high line, she's really struggled to just time that run properly. She's been offside 4 or 5 times in the last 2 games. So yeah, it's. I think you make a good point. So they do need to have some players who can do different things, and not loads of players who all want to do the same thing. Well, that Russo injury means that we have found ourselves with only a minute left of this first 45. Yamashita will send it long. Header won by Fox. Caroline. Broad. Kasparov under pressure from Russo. Manages to spin it to Caroline. Runs out of play though, and it will be an Arsenal throw on. Fox to Williamson. Finds Russo. Holds it up well against Kasparov. That's really good from Alessia Russo, who tries to send in Blacksenius. Blacksenius didn't make the run, but it has been pulled back for a free kick on Russo, who did really well to spin Kasparov despite the Man City fullback being all over it. And Arsenal, well, what will probably be the last kick of the half. Williamson over it then. It's a free kick. Looks like they're going to play it short. We'll fire it long, to be fair. Vouty misses it. Fowler will smash it up. Moore go to collect. And that will be all for the first half. Over 50 minutes played there. And Manchester City go into half-time with the lead. A nervy start to the game. But on 26 minutes, an absolutely beautiful strike from Mary Fowler is what separates the two sides at half-time. Arsenal trailing at home to Man City by 1-0. Man City are 45 minutes away from their place in the Subway Women's League Cup final. Arsenal, the holders of this tournament, with work to do in the second half. But we have 15 minutes now where we can talk and analyse what happened in that first 45. Phil says, I agree about the offside. It's frustrating, but it's really tough for us. Our players all have to have an extra touch to get full control before playing the pass. That is true. Yes, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. She doesn't time the run correctly, but the passes could also come a little bit sooner. Lucky says, Arsenal struck the Russo winger gimmick. Need wingers to come in early second half. Totally agree. Playing Russo on the wing and Blackstenius up front just doesn't work. And I get that Caton Ford's out, but you've got Kafaji, you've got other players who you can shift around. It just doesn't make sense to me why you would shoehorn Russo onto that right-hand side. Just doesn't work. She's not a winger. She is an incredible forward, but not a winger. And it's a shame because it's just... It's limiting It's limiting what she can do because she can't impact the game because she's playing on the right hand side. And Blackstenius for me isn't offering enough to, especially in a starting role, she isn't offering enough to warrant that number leading the line. Riley, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Lucky says, Laser have been very good to bypass Arsenal's press. If City don't make mistakes leading to goal, they have this game. I do agree. I think that Lazel's looked really, really good tonight. Again, she's come in and defensively City have looked stronger. And it's because they're not just sending both fullbacks running up the line. When they have Uahabi and Kasparai, both fullbacks just run away. Like genuinely, they just run off the line and leave the defenders to do their job. With Lazel in there, she's much more defensive, which makes City much more solid. And as you say, as long as City don't make mistakes in that first, unless Arsenal change something, in that first half, City were defensively solid enough that they will hold on to this result. Just cannot afford in this second half to make any individual errors like they have been in the last games. Riley says, been a good watch. City actually doing some defending tonight. Well, yeah. And again, exactly as I said there, Lazel coming back is a massive part of that. And the fact they're not making any errors. But a really good response from Man City. They find themselves leading at half-time. The job is definitely not done, but they are halfway there to that spot in the League Cup final. Phil says we definitely need natural width. If it's Russo and Mariota, then the fullbacks need to be really high and overlapping. Well, that's the problem. Is that you've got... On the right-hand side, you've got Russo, who just isn't a winger. Simply isn't a winger. And on the left-hand side, you've got Calrente, who... It's fine that she cuts in, but as you say, that left-back then has to bomb on. The problem is that tonight, Slagers has gone defensive, so she's gone for Steph Catley. Whereas Katie McCabe is sat on the bench. If you're going to play Calrente on the left, put McCabe at left-back and get that overlap. Get her to bomb on. Because... I think that Slagers has got it wrong tonight. I have to be honest. I haven't criticised too much of her work, but I think she's got it wrong. Arsenal and Slagers, they've decided to go for a low block and to be defensive tonight, and I don't understand it. I understand in terms of I understand why she'd want to do it, but I don't understand in terms of I don't think it's the right thing to do for the game. When you think about the occasion, it's a semi-final against Manchester City. It's a big game, and that is why I understand why that Slagers wants to play cautiously. But at the end of the day, after beating them on Sunday, after showing that when you press City high, when you're aggressive, if you're aggressive and positive against Man City this season, there's a really good chance you're going to get a result. So why Arsenal have decided to go against that, I do not know. Arsenal have been one of the best pressing teams this season. But tonight they've decided to go sit in a low block and just absorb pressure. And sit deep. Let City have the ball. Let City get comfortable. And it's just not gone well. It is not the right decision. And they have to change it in the second half if they want to win this game. They can't afford to just keep sitting deep and let City have the ball. Let City come onto them. They have to be aggressive. They have to be hard. They have to be fast. They have to come out and they have to press City, just like they did in that game on Sunday. Chase after them, want it more, be aggressive, get high, and they're losing. They have to go for it. They have to take a risk. Lucky says Vivet, the 10 has been very good with Fowler as the 9, City's midfield being alert as compared to the weekend. I have to hold my hands up for that one. I thought Taylor got it wrong again by putting Miedemar in midfield and putting Fowler up front. But with the form that Mary Fowler's in, I can understand why you want to keep her in that front three. And Miedemar's been just as effective in the 10. So fair enough, Gareth Taylor. He got it right. He's got it right tonight. And I'll hold my hands up on that one. Maria says, McCabe on a half-time. Do you think? I think that would make sense. I agree with that. Yeah, with Calrente, if Calrente is going to stay out on that left-hand side and she's going to be cutting in, then definitely bring McCabe on and get her to overlap, get her to run up and down that left-hand side like nobody's business. And I think that would help City much more than watching Catley get up that line because she's just not as effective as that overlap. Underduzo, sorry if I got that wrong. I went to the stream. Says Arsenal were not in the game. Man City should have moved the ball quickly, create more chances. I agree. I think Man City were definitely the better side in that first half. Arsenal were just happy to be spectators, if anything, and that's what I don't understand. It's just, I don't get why they've come out and they've been so conservative tonight. And I think that is something that Slagers has to change in the second half. Riley says, really think Slagers rates Cena and wants to play her at 9, but she doesn't want to drop Russo since she's a fan favourite, so she's forcing Russo on the wing gimmick. I think at the end of the day, no matter what Slagers or the fans think, you have to go with the form. Before Blackstone, I think the main thing, Riley, is that Caitlin Ford's injured. Once Ford's back, Ford goes onto the wing, Russo goes back up front. But before Russo came out onto this right hand side, playing on the wing, she'd got a goal contribution in every game in the OSL in her last 6 or 7. She was in incredible form, playing at the top of her game, and just I don't understand how you can then decide to put her on the wing. It's a really, really poor decision that Slagers, she has to give in. She has to change, put Russo up front and bring on Kafaji, or just they have to change something in that attack. They cannot afford to keep playing Russo on the right hand side and playing Blackstenius up front. Phil says I agree. I'll judge Slagers on next year though, as the team Jonas built is very one dimensional. The Catley, Mariona, McKay rotation has been a bit of a masterstroke too. That's to her credit. Yeah, I think she has got that. Apart from tonight, she's got it right, and that surprises me, because it's like in the biggest game, in the most important one out of all of them, she's gone and got it wrong, which I think is a shame. It's a real shame. But yeah, I think that, as you say, you can't. I think Slagers has done well, but next season will be the season where she can have. It'll be her own ideas. It'll be the way she wants to play. It'll be what she wants to do. And then if Arsenal have issues, then then you can say that it's on her. But I think that she has made changes. Yeah, I'll give her credit to that. She's definitely changed some things. But tonight, she's going to have to find something else. And as you say, I think Arsenal were quite one-dimensional under Eidevall. But she can still change that now. And she's going to have to find something different. If Arsenal want to win this football match, she's going to have to find something different tonight. Simple as that. Valsar says, Man City have been impressive, most especially Fowler and Miedemar. Yeah, couldn't agree more. 2 players that are in brilliant form. Mary Fowler at the top of her game. Make sure, if you do like Mary Fowler, you're very interested in her, make sure to subscribe, because very interesting video coming out tomorrow. So make sure to watch that. But yeah, Fowler is playing some beautiful football at the moment. At the top of her game. And she's really stepping up. In the absence of Hemp and Shaw, Mary Fowler and Miedemar have provided the goals. And yeah, fair play to them. They've done very, very well. And they're the reason that Man City have got any points in their last few games. You look at the Villa game, without Miedemar and Fowler, they would have lost. Tonight, it's Fowler and Miedemar. Miedemar with the assist, Fowler with the goal. They're leading at half-time. And if they've gone to win this game tonight, they can thank those 2 players again. Because they're 2 players that have stepped up incredibly and are playing some really, really nice football. And Mary Fowler is at the very, she's at the top of her game right now. And it's brilliant to see. Because when she's playing like this, she's simply unstoppable. She's one of the top players in the league when she's playing as well as she is right now. Monterrey says Fowler especially, but Miedemar and Fragino have all stepped up while the backline has taken a step back in league games at least. Yeah, completely agree. I think you're spot on there. That front line has really upped their performances in the last few weeks, and it's helping, because, as you say, if it wasn't for that front line, the defence would have cost them against Villa. Even when they lost to United, because of the back line, they still scored 3 goals. 2 goals. Even when they lost to Arsenal on Sunday, they still scored 3 goals. And that's the kind of form they're in. Defensively, though, they've got it. They've been really poor recently. But tonight, they've got it right. And they've looked much, much better. And if they can keep that up for 45 minutes, they will find themselves in the League Cup final. in a couple of months, a couple of weeks time. Rises, what's happened to Fowler? She's really stepped up. I used to rate her, but now she's proved me wrong. Well, if you want to find out what's happened to Fowler, make sure to watch our video tomorrow, because we talk about Mary Fowler and her recent success and why that has come about. But yeah, a player that is playing some really nice football and has been so much has upped her performances this season incredibly. I'd wanted to only put Fowler, Viv and Murphy out front. I think that's harsh on Fagino. I think that I agree that Fagino hasn't had a blistering start to life at Man City, but in the last couple of weeks, I think she's looked really, really sharp. I think on Sunday she played very, very well up against Catley. Tonight, not played as well, but still looked pretty decent. Had a couple of chances. Again, she had the same stat on Sunday. Most crosses of any player on the pitch goes to Fagino again. Credit to her because she's doing well. She's running direct at Catley and either she's getting a shot away or she's putting the ball into the box. Ard1 also says, I still hope we get rid of Taylor. I think it's a really hard situation because when you look at it, you think they pushed Chelsea all the way last year, and they have won a couple of trophies under him, and you have to give him credit for what he's done. I think his side on their day do play good football, but at the end of the day, you have to look at what the paper says, and the paper says they haven't won the league for years. They haven't won a trophy for a good few years. They haven't been in a final for a good couple of years as well. So, and they could find themselves, they might finish outside the top three this season. And at that point, I think Taylor's out of excuses. This Man City side is very, very good. But if they win tonight, suddenly they're one game away from winning silverware again. So that's the thing. These couple months could completely change Man City's future. It could go from Taylor being in trouble to Taylor's actually really good. They've won a trophy. They've got into the top three, and they look to go at it again next season. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Ronnie Taylor says, looking forward to the WFA Cup games this weekend. Very much so. And yeah, just before we get into the action, if you are tuning in tonight, I am back on Sunday for the FA Cup action. It will be I'm watching Chelsea versus Arsenal, so make sure to tune back in for that one. Going to be a good game, but yeah, very much looking forward to the Women's FA Cup action this weekend. But for tonight, we have 45 minutes ahead of us to decide who will play in the Subway League Cup final. Will it be Arsenal? Will it be Manchester City? Manchester City are a goal to the good, but Arsenal, they love this competition. They will not want to be knocked out of it now. Semi-final stages, 1 game away from Pride Park, 2 games away from silverware. Let's see what happens in the next 45 minutes. But yeah, it's a big 45. Big 45 for both sides. It will be Arsenal to get us underway in the second half. They need to find a goal if they want to stand any chance of reaching that final. Man City, it is simple. They hold on to this lead and they will be League Cup finalists for the first time in 3 or 4 years. Black Stadius knocks it back and we are underway in this second half. Arsenal have got to go for it. They've got to be more bold. They've got to be more aggressive. And from the off, it's really good from Russo. Finds Caldente. Knocks it out wide to Fox. Arsenal starting this second half fast. Fox into the box. Dealt with by Casper Eifert. Gino manages to hook it clear for a throw-in. Good start from Arsenal. The cross from Fox, though, just didn't find anyone. Didn't manage to pick anyone out. Catley throw on. Here is Virgino. Virgino across to Rord. Rord to Fowler. Fowler forced back. Maria says, why is the final not to another month? To be fair, it's only a few weeks. It's the same as it always is for the League Cup. You have the quarterfinals, then you have a couple of weeks, then you have the semi-finals, then it's not the first. I believe it's the 15th of March. I think it's the 15th of March. So that is only in 3 or 4 weeks' time. So not long. Arsenal win themselves a throw in the Man City half. Caldente will decide to leave it for Steph Catley. No changes at the half for either side, by the way. Here is Steph Catley. Plays a 1-2 with Mariona Caldente and then goes back to Wooben Moy. Here is Van Domselaar. Van Domselaar across to Leah Williamson. Williamson plays it down the line to Fox. Emily Fox for Arsenal. Gives it to Russo. Russo puts it into the penalty area. Again, another cross that isn't met by anybody and will go out for a throw-in on the other side of the pitch. 2 crosses now for Arsenal that have just not met anybody. But again, Alessia Russo, she's not a natural crosser of the ball. She's a striker. So unsurprisingly, her crosses aren't going to be incredible. Here is Lazel. Caldente wins it back off at Cooney Cross into Leah Williamson. Williamson ball finds Freedom Marnham. Here is Cooney Cross. Goes back to Daphne Van Domselaar. Better from the Gunners. Couple minutes into the second half. They're getting on the ball. They're wanting to play football. Caldente, lovely little reverse to Cooney Cross. Marnham, though, is pounced on by City. Miedemar plays it to Fowler. Fowler looks to find Virginia, but Wooben Moy will deal with it. Goes back to Van Domselaar, who manages to pick out Lazel. Lazel still going. Cuts inside here. Plays it to Rord. Rord looks to slot it through to Caroline. Caroline will put it into the box. And that hits the post. Van Domselaar was happy to leave it and it nearly went in. Falls to Virginia. Arsenal goalkeeper got caught out by that. Lazel pounced on by Marnham. Wins it back though. Hasegawa loses it to Caldente, who then loses it to Rord. Rord pokes it to Miedemar. Miedemar on the edge will line up a shot blocked by Williamson. Here's Firgino. Darts to the right. Has a go herself and hits the crossbar. Man City striking the post and the bar in a matter of minutes. Really good stuff from the side who are currently in the lead. Arsenal don't seem to really be faced by it. The first one caught Van Domselaar out. It was a cross from Caroline that turned to a bit of a shot. And Van Domselaar was happy to leave it. And it ended up just clonking the outside the post. We'll sit here. Cross in. Van Domselaar leaves it. Hits the post. City recycle it. Virginia has an effort. Then just skims the crossbar. Good start to the second half for Manchester City. Winning the ball at heart of the pitch. And nearly finding the back of the net. Ball long from Arsenal. Hasegawa wins it. Is dispossessed by Marnham. Russo, though, loses it to Hasegawa. Still fighting away as Alessia Russo and does win it off Yui Hasegawa. Fox sends Blackstenius into the channel. Here is Sina Blackstenius. Decides against playing it to Russo. Instead goes back to Vouty, who will go back to Williamson. And again, it's a good ball down the line, but they end up having to work it backwards. That's a lovely little dink ball to Blackstenius. But would you guess it? She's offside again. Honestly, you just cannot write how many times she's offside. So it's a good ball from Williams. I mean, I think that one's a bit harsh. That one's definitely tighter, but still offside. City restart with the indirect free kick. Go back to Yamashita. Here's Alexandri. Alexandri up the pitch. Intercepted by Wooben Moy. Caldente will flick it on to Frida Marnham. Marnham back to Caldente. Lovely little ball roll. Finds Cooney Cross. Fowler wins it though off of the Arsenal midfielder. Cooney Cross then lays it to Miedemar. One back by Arsenal though. It's more positive from Arsenal. So it feels like they're playing a little bit more aggressively. Just step that tempo up a bit. And it is starting to get into that kind of scrappy end-to-end stuff that we saw on Sunday. Ball out wide to Marnham. Here is Williamson. Williamson into Caldente. Here is Vouty. Vouty into Marnham. Does well to shrug off Hasegawa, but Rord will sweep up. Oh, it's a poor pass from City. Blackstenius nearly gets there, but sharp thinking from Yamashita, and she manages to get there before the onrushing striker. My oh my, that was nearly another howler. Pass from Rord back to the goalkeeper. It didn't look like it had the legs on it. Blackstenius nearly pounced, but Yamashita just about got there, really quick off her line. 1-2 down the right-hand side from Arsenal. Vouty just plays a flick into inside. Does eventually finds its way to Cooney Cross. Here is Mariona Caldente. Knack has stepped in, and now here comes Caldente. Looks to get past Knack. Does so. Will have a shot. It's just over the bar. Not bad from Caldente. Sharp footwork. Decent shot. It's like the ball just got the ball caught under her. And managed to... yeah, just spoons it over the bar, really. Nat got a little touch on it. Stop the Caldente really getting out of her feet. And then the shot just goes over the bar. Yamashita plays it short to Alexandri. Here is Lazel. Lazel across to Knack. Knack forced to turn and go back to her own goalkeeper. Yamashita goes wider to Kasparai. Better from City. They've looked much more comfortable in possession tonight. Much more comfortable. They look like, you know, when they play in the cup, they look like a different side. Caroline wins a Man City throw. And here is Kasparai to take. Not many options on, so has to throw it back to Knack. And he smashes it up the pitch. Broad though, one back by Vouty. Good play from Russo. Here Caldente. He's dispossessed by Hasegawa. Miedemar looks to find Broad, but it will fall to Wu and Moi. Cooney Cross to Williamson. Caldente to Vouty. Vouty to Fox. Arsenal's turn to enjoy the possession in this second half. Working their way back into this game. Only trailing by a goal. They're one goal away and they'll level it up again. Van Domselat. Vouty. Here is Lotte Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy bursting into space. A brilliant run from the centre half. Still going is Wubben-Moy. Will get a way to have a shot at herself, and it's just over the bar. What a run though from Arsenal centre half. Lotte Wubben-Moy. Just space to burst into, and no one in a City shirt got close to her. And the shot in the end from the edge of the area, not a bad effort. A really good run. Shrugs off Rord. Beats Hasegawa. I tell you what, it's not a bad effort. Really good run from Arsenal centre half, and we cut back, and it's an absolute frenzy. I don't know what's happened, but Yamashita has her hands on the ball. I love when that happens. When you finish watching a replay and you cut back and there's about 7 people over the ball. It was Yamashita who played out. Ball was cut out by Wubben-Moy again. Caldente played it to Blackstenius, who... oh, the shot's got to be better there. But not bad from Arsenal, winning it out the pitch and nearly pouncing on it. Vouty looks to play through Blackstenius, too much on the pass. And the ball is back with Yamashita, who will invite the pressure on and then pick the ball up. 10 minutes played in the second half, much more even. Arsenal working their way back into this football match. Again, we're watching the crowd rather than the game, so I'd love to know what's going on. Not sure why we're watching the crowd. Arsenal have won it back. Here's Caldente. Plays it down the channel to Catley. Catley puts it in. Turned away by Knack. And Miedemar will now look to come forward. Here is Viviana Miedemar on the charge from Man City. Shrugs off Caldente and plays the pass through to Mary Fowler. Fowler, really good defending from Fox. Is physical, is strong. And manages to just knock her off the ball. Really good defending from Emily Fox. Here is Marnham. Marnham lays it through to Blackstenius. Blackstenius versus Knack. This is good from Blackstenius. Oh, it's a tackle from Knack. It's not a very good one, and that is a penalty to Arsenal. City are not happy, but I think it's a good decision. Blackstenius gets in. And City are furious. Gonna watch this one back. It's a really good run from Blackstenius. She times it perfectly. It's a really nice ball down the line. She gets the better of Rebecca Knack. And I'll be intrigued to see it's a close one. I think it's a foul. It's a great ball down the line to Blackstenius, who just knocks it in front of Knack. Does she get the ball? No, she doesn't. That's a penalty. Oh. Let's have another look here. Blackstenius, wrong side of Knack. Oh, I think it's contentious, but I think there's enough in it. Knack does get a foot on the ball, but it's similar. It reminds me a little bit of Little's one against Lauren James. That Knack does eventually get to the ball, but she first has to go through Blackstenius' ankle. But penalty to Arsenal, and it will be Mariona Caldente with a chance from 12 yards to level up this semi-final. Caldente versus Yamashita. Steps up. And it's a really good penalty. Cool, calm and collected. And Arsenal are level in this semi-final. Knack brings down Blackstenius. And Mariona Caldente from the spot levels this football matchup. And it is game on here at Meadow Park. A semi-final which in the second half is starting to spring into life. And the Arsenal fans are shaking it in the stands. But work to do for City. It's been a good response in the second half from the Gunners. And Mariona Caldente posts it into the corner. Had to be perfect. Yamashita went the right way. Walks up to the ball and just places it in the bottom corner. And Arsenal are level. Billy says get in. Montrose says no, that's a pen. I think it is. I think it is a pen. Knack has to go through Blackstenius to get to the ball. Ardwan says congrats forever. Wish Fowler dive when she was shoved earlier. I think I'll be honest, guys. I think there's enough in it to give it. Maria says the Arsenal fans did say the little one wasn't a penalty. Yeah, but they were wrong. That was a penalty, and so is that one. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing with football is that, as you say, Arsenal fans were absolutely adamant that the little on Lauren James wasn't a penalty. But there's another penalty, and this is a penalty to City. Fowler's burst into the box, and she's been tripped up by Cooney Cross, and there's a penalty up the other end. And that one's not contentious at all. City just knocking it around. Hasegawa just lays it into Fowler, spins into the penalty area, and Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross trips her up. Fowler spins away here. And between Ruben Moy and Cooney Cross, it is a Manchester City penalty. And this is just like Sunday. Arsenal have scored a penalty at one end of the pitch. And within a matter of minutes, it's now Mary Fowler's turn from the spot to put Man City back in front. Fowler now from 12 yards. She scored a penalty against Arsenal on Sunday. Can she do it again to put City back in front in this semi-final? Incredible drama. Mary Fowler from 12 yards. Steps up and saved by Van Domselaar. What a save. It's straight down the middle, but Van Domselaar's read her like a book. Brilliant save from Daphne Van Domselaar. And Mary Fowler, who are a player in brilliant form. Van Domselaar wins the mind games. Really stands up well and parries it away. Fowler tries to go, slots it down the middle. But Van Domselaar reads it all the way. What is going on in this football match? Penalty to Arsenal at one end. Caldente scores it. Penalty to City up the other end. But Van Domselaar saves it to deny Fowler. And we are still level at 1-1 in this match. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. This is all kicking off again. Arsenal and City just cannot stop delivering. Here's Caldente. And a lot of people reacting to both penalties. It's, I don't know what to say. I think an absolutely incredible. I also not a good save. It was a horrid penalty. Should have given it to Viv. To be fair, Fowler scored her last couple. She's a good penalty taker. I understand what she's tried to do, but Van Donstar's read it really well. If you watch, Van Donstar dummies her feet to the right hand side and then just stands herself back up again and stays strong to save it. It is always risky going down the middle, but sometimes it pays off. That does not pay off for Fowler though, and we remain level in this semi-final. Crazy, as Phil says, that was a wild 5 minutes. Yeah, I said this on Sunday during the game. I'm so glad I can watch these matches from a neutral point of view, because if I was supporting one of these teams, I just couldn't cope. Brilliant action from both sides. Arsenal looking to come forwards again. Russo on the turn. Goes to Emily Fox. Tries to find Blacksenius. Pass wasn't good enough though. And City back on the ball. But definitely a lot of controversy to discuss there as well. However, I think both penalties are fair. But as I was saying before the Man City penalty, on that Arsenal penalty, as Maria said, Arsenal fans, this is why I find funny about football, is that Arsenal fans were adamant that Kim Little on Lauren James wasn't a penalty. But that was a very similar thing there between Knack and Blacksenius. But you'll see that they'll be absolutely adamant that was a penalty, and that is why I think football does balance itself out sometimes. Is that 1 minute you feel like you've been robbed of a contentious penalty, and then the next week you get it back, and it's very similar scenarios. It's just one of those where you have to look at it from a reasonable head. I think Knack got the player before she got the ball. It's a penalty, and then that Fowler one there, I don't think many players. I don't think anyone had no Arsenal players complained. No, I don't think many people have a complaint about that. Cooney Cross, just tripped Mary Fowler up. Simple as that. I tell you what, in the form that Mary Fowler's in, you just expected her. You just expected her to go on and score that. She won the penalty, stepped up to convert it. She's already scored penalties against Everton and City this season. You just felt that she was going to convert, but not so. Change for Man City. And that is Uahabi coming on for Lazell. That is expected. Obviously, Lazell only just back from injury, so managing her minutes. Over an hour play, to be fair to her. So Uahabi comes to left back, and Kasparov will go back to a preferred right back. Masek Moranos, can Katie McCabe play in this game? Yes, Katie McCabe can play in this game. She is on the bench for Arsenal, so if they do want to use her, then she can come on. Maria says everything comes back around on these type of things. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Here is Marnham. Marnham looks to find Fox. Does eventually work it to her. Here's Catley. Fox. Ball put in towards Russo. Too much on it and out for a City goal kick. Little went cleats first straight through James' ankle though. Yeah, I think the Little one was potentially more, but it's the same. It's the same principle in terms of, Little got the player before she got the ball, so it's a penalty. Same here tonight. Knack got the player before she got the ball, so penalty. Yeah. Phil says, for me, both went to ground and made contact with the player. Little and Knack both got wrong-footed and took the risk. Yeah, exactly. And to be, that's a very reasonable way to put it, and a good opinion. And it's spot on. Fagino running down the right-hand side, causing problems. Brilliant from Fagino, taking on one or two players, lays it to Miedema, whose touch lets her down and gives time for Cooney Cross to come in and intercept. Here is Frida Marnham, one back by Fagino. Will roll out for a Manchester City throw. So many twists and turns in this game. A first half that was City were in control, but as I said, Arsenal have gone for it, and that's why it's got open again. Similar to Sunday, when Arsenal went for the game, it was an open, free-flowing game. When they sat back and defended, City were all over them. Same again tonight. City were on top when Arsenal sat deep, but now Arsenal were going for it. The game sprung into life. Fagino with another cross cut out by Wubben Moy. Arsenal look to break. Here's Freedom Arnhem. Forced back in a good tussle there with Kasparov, but does manage to flick it back to Mariona Caldente. Caldente to Wubben-Moy. Across to Williamson. Yeah, very difficult as well for a referee to give 2 penalties in 3 minutes. Incredible drama. But I think 2 decisions that Kirsty Dowell got spot on. And that's what you want to see. In a game like this magnitude, you want to see a referee making the right decisions, and credit to her because she's got all the big decisions tonight. I think she's got spot on. Poor pass from Fox. Miedemar pounces on it. Really good tackle that from Cooney Cross to win it back, and Arsenal will look to play. Here is Stina Blackstenius making another good run up against Alexandri. What a tackle that is from Alexandri. Superb interception. A player who's been out of form and out of sorts recently. They're the kind of tackles that we expect to see from her. They're the kind of tackles that Barcelona want to see next season if they do sign her up. And it means that Jill Rod can come forward and a deflected shot goes over, and it will be a Man City corner. Huge interception up one end from Alexandri. As Phil says, that was a huge tackle. Yeah, brilliant tackle. Yeah, it's so easy to get that wrong. Because, as we've said, we had the discussion about if she gets that wrong, that's easily a penalty. But she gets it spot on. Halfway through the second half. 23 minutes to play here. If we don't find a goal, we're going to extra time. Fowler's corner. Looking towards Knack. Headed away by Williamson. Will fall to Uahabi on the volley. Big block there from Freedom Arnhem. Falls to Mary Fowler again. Goes to Fagino. Fagino will look to cross it in. Sells the dummy. Tries to put it in. Doesn't get enough on it. Blocked by Steph Catley. Caldente will look to drive forwards for the Gunners. Gets blocked by the referee, but Arsenal still have the ball, so they won't mind. Good tackle that, though, from Kirsty Dowell. Here is Williamson. Across to Wubben-Moy. Caldente tries to skip his pass. Miedemar is brought down by the Manchester City attacker. Fortunate to avoid a booking, I think, there. Viviana Miedemar. Caldente just skips away from her. Miedemar trips her up. Arsenal back on the ball. Coming forwards. Ball intercepted, though. Back to Yamashita. Clearance isn't brilliant. Caldente picks it off. Hasegawa heads it forward. Fowler. Dispossessed by Leah Williamson. Here is Emily Fox. Back to Williamson. Lovely little dink pass. Looking for Russo. Doesn't work out. Marnham wins it back. Does handball it. And that'll be a Manchester City free kick. Yeah. But again, Uehabi's come on. City have suddenly got 2 attacking fullbacks on the pitch. And they look more open. I think Lazel being back is absolutely key. Obviously, in this, I understand in this game that she couldn't have played a full 90. She's only just come back from injury. You do not want to be risking her like that. So it makes sense just, to give her a rest and bring on Uehabi. Kasparov. Fagino. Back to Kasparov. Good combination play down the right-hand side. Here is Kirsten Kasparov. Looks to find... Rord will find her. Goes back to Fowler. What a block from Cooney Cross. Literally throws herself head first across the ball to get a block in. Here's Caroline. Intercepted by Fox. Quiet game for Caroline, has to be said. Especially in this second half. I don't think she touched the ball. But what a block. Talk about body on the line defending from Kyra Cooney Cross. Threw herself, just dives across the play. Here come Arsenal, though. Stina Blackstenius. This game has kicked into life in the second half. Caldente. Back to Marnham. Cooney Cross. Caldente. Goes across to Catley. Catley to Wubben-Moy. Williamson. Wubben-Moy. Catley again. Does well. Here's Wubben-Moy. Fagino intercepts. Throw in for Arsenal. 20 minutes to go in this semi-final. Caldente goes to Cooney Cross. Catley to Wubben-Moy. Arsenal just building here. Completely transformed from the first half. It was all Man City in the first 45. Arsenal have completely turned the game on its head. Now they're the ones who are getting on the ball. They're the ones who are enjoying the possession and trying to come forward and look for a winner. That ball, though, is cut out by Leia Alexandri. Kasperai. Inside to Miedemar. Miedemar. Back to Knack. Knack to Uahabi. Here's Jill Rord. Rord goes back and City will recycle it back to their goalkeeper. Yamashita. Alexandri finds Miedemar. City just slowing this game down, trying to get themselves a bit of control. Miedemar across to Uahabi. Will look to play it to Caroline. Can she have an impact on this second half? Been a bit quiet so far, but looking to run at Fox. Goes to Rord. Rord back to Caroline. Big tackle that from Emily Fox. And now looks to come the other way for Arsenal. Really good drive from Fox. And will win herself a free kick. Does very well. And the referee feels that Jill Rod's brought her down. Feels there's time for McCabe now, I think. I think that would be a good shout. It depends how Arsenal are feeling. But you're right. I think Arsenal should go for it. I really do. They've got the momentum. They're playing the better stuff. I think they should go for it. But the thing is, what we've got now is what we had in the first 20 minutes, where neither side wants to give anything away. It's level. It's late in the game. A goal now would completely change things. So neither side wants to rush things. Neither side wants to panic. Arsenal mess around at the back here a bit, though, and it falls to Kasperai. Forced back to Alexandri. Alexandri into Fowler. Fowler does really well to spin and play it out wide to Caroline. Up against Fox, but she's offside again. Not been a great first start from Caroline in a Man City shirt. First start for the away side, and it's not looked good. Well, Phillies calls it. Here comes Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford as well, back from injury. Two big changes for Arsenal. So that is Steph Catley and Frida Marnham. So they've brought Ford on, and they're still not going to put Russo up front. That is, it's just a. So what it will be Russo will go to the 10. Ford will come onto the right hand side. McCabe will obviously go to left back. That one's self-explanatory. But Arsenal, they're going for the game. But on McCabe and Ford, they fancy themselves to get a goal. So yeah, Ford onto the right hand side, Russo in the 10, Carante on the left hand side. And Caitlin Ford already getting involved and scrapping away to win the ball back and dancing herself around, although she does run herself in a circle and loses the ball. Hasegawa to Miedemar. Good footwork from the Man City forward. Here is Fujino. Fujino cutting in, dispossessed by Cooney Cross. Hasegawa keeps it alive. Uahabi to Fowler. Caroline does really well to shrug off one player. Darts inside now. Sees off Cooney Cross. Gets a shot away, Caroline. Big block from Williamson. Manchester City corner. City going the right way about things. Coming forward themselves now. Very tasty 15 minutes. Very tasty. If you are just tuning in now, and anyone who is if you are watching right now, make sure to get your prediction in. Who will win this game? Will City win it in the final 15 minutes? Will Arsenal win it in the final 15 minutes? Or are we going to extra time? Corner from Fujino, looking for Knack. We'll find the header. Knack. It's a cross goal, cleared off the line by Wouben, I think it was in there, and hacked away by Alessia Russo. Very important header there from whoever that was in an Arsenal shirt to stop that header. Didn't have much power on it, but it definitely was goal bound. Rord. Miedemar. Flicks around the corner, but dispossessed by Leia Vauti. Williamson into Mariona Caldente. Caldente to Cooney Cross. Cooney Cross goes back to Van Donselaar. I can't call this. I really can't. I have no idea whether we're going to get a winner from either side. Where I could see both sides still scoring, and we go to extra time at 2-2. Arsenal, though, want to find a winner. Calden Ford. Ford against Ua Harvey, and Firmino skips past one, can't get past the other, and City win the ball back. Lorette is calling for extra time. I can definitely see it happening. Definitely see it happening. Arsenal with a throw. Chloe Kelly watching on. Still hasn't been allowed to play. Obviously loan tied, so she can't play against Man City. And due to the fact that the Gunners have had to play the Citizens back to back, it means we still. But hopefully for Arsenal, they will see Chloe Kelly in action in the FA Cup on Sunday. Changes coming though for the away team. That is Viviana Miedemar coming off, and that is Jess Park coming onto the pitch. Can she be a difference maker in the final 13 minutes? There's only one way to find out. Fox with a throw for Arsenal. Vouty. Here is Russo. Marnham pokes it through to Blackstenius, and I will not surprise you, but the flag has gone up. Now that one's a harsh one again. It's not a run in really. It's just positioning wise. Man City, we know Man City do step up. Well, problems for Yamashita here. She's gone down and she's interestingly taken. I don't know whether she does. But yeah. Anyway, Yamashita's down. Now we hope it's nothing serious, and a chance for both sides to get a drink on board and get some instructions in their side for what will be the final 10 minutes of this football match. Phil says, I'm going for Vouty to win it for us with a side foot from just outside the box. Pure hopium. That's what you need. In these close games, when it is nervy for your team, you just have to hope and pray they can get it across the line. But yeah, I can see that happening. I get what you mean. Like Vouty, like she's had a couple of those where she just just side foot just passes it into the bottom corner, really. Yeah, I think we're set for an absolute blockbuster 10 minutes here in this semi-final. Chelsea breezed through last night against the West Ham. This game much, much closer and could require an additional 30 minutes. And even after that, we could see spot kicks. Rise, this is fun for neutrals. Tell me about it. I'm having a great time. Honestly, I've watched nearly 180 minutes of Arsenal versus Man City from a neutral point of view over the last 6 days, and both have been absolutely brilliant games. I've loved every single minute of it. Ten minutes to go. Yamashita to Alexandri. Alexandri to Kasperite. Kasperite back to her centre half. Hasegawa. Can City find something in this game? Can they find a winner, or will Arsenal be the ones to grab a late goal? A goal now would surely win it, but based on the most recent altercations between these two sides, I wouldn't bet against us finding another couple of goals in these last 10 minutes. These two sides over the last couple of years have produced drama. Kasperite clears it into Caldente. Manchester City throw. It's got tense again. It's got tense and nervy. First 20 minutes were really nervy. Then City kind of grew into the game and took control. Second half has been an absolute frenzy. But these final 15 minutes has just become, both sides are in position. Both sides do not want to lose what they have. They want to go and win the game, but they can't afford to lose. And it is very cagey. Fowler loses the ball. Russo goes back to Leia Vouty. Vouty to Williamson. Williamson goes long. Looking for the run of McCabe. Finds McCabe. Her touch is a bit heavy though, and runs it back to Kasparai. Goes back to Yamashita, who clears it out of the pitch. It's a backwards header from Cooney Cross that, luckily for her, falls to Wooben Moy. Vouty tries a flick in the middle of the park, dispossessed, and City look to spring forwards. Ball looking there for Jill Ward. Brilliant tackle from Wooben Moy. Fox has sold a goalkeeper short of a poor ball there. Very scrappy. I think, Leia Vouty's the one to come away with it. Arsenal back on the ball themselves. Time ticking away here in this semi-final. Caldente, really good work. Goes out wide right to Ford. Ford looks for the run of Blacksenius and will find it. Blacksenius versus Knack. Knack wins this battle this time. Blocked though by Steve Blacksenius and out for a Man City throw. Oh, wow. I don't even support either of these sides and I'm getting a little bit nervy. It's one of those games, you just don't know who's going to win it. So tight. I personally think we're destined for extra time. Both sides are just conserving that little bit more now. Not going to be throwing players forward to try and force goals. Great ball from Yamashita to find Fagino, who manages to skip past Katie McCabe. Really good from Fagino, being held by the fullback, but still holds onto the ball. Fagino goes inside to Park. Can Jess Park make the difference in this game? Spins to go back to Fagino. Ball put in by the winger, but it's not good enough. And it goes out for a goal kick. And again, another opportunity for the clock to run out and for Arsenal to just take their time. Both sides are doing it. Both sides are happy just to take a moment. Williamson with the goal kick. Looks like she's just going to fire this long. And she will. Goes direct into Ford, who manages to spin Uahabi. Brilliant turn. Finds Blackstenius. Holds it up, awaiting support. Alexandria does well to step in. Forces Blackstenius to go backwards. Cooney Cross out wide to McCabe, but McCabe can't quite get there. Little bit overhit from Cooney Cross, and it's a Man City throw. Hasegawa being hounded in their own penalty area by Caldente, and that has been forced out for an Arsenal throw. Really good pressure from the Gunners. Quick throw to Blacksenius. Back to Mariona Caldente. Looks to skip past Fagino and does so. McCabe, can she deliver? Goes to Caldente. Cooney Cross. Forced back to Wooben Moy. Williamson. Goes direct into Blacksenius. I think she's offside. And she's offside again. I like seeing Blacksenius. I think she's a really good striker. I like that she wants to play on the shoulder. But she's just offside way too often. Way too often. 3 offsides on Sunday. At least 3 offsides tonight. Yeah, again, it's not even close. And she tries because she does bend the run. You can see it. Fagino with the ball in. Fowler the miss kick. It's a touch from Broad in the penalty area. And it's hacked clear by Cooney Cross. Cut back from the replay. Fagino's in a brilliant position. Park on the edge. Lays it off to Fagino. Fagino running at McCabe. McCabe does well to force her to turn around. Fagino up against Katie McCabe. Gets the ball in. Not a bad ball. Looking for Rord. Headed towards goal, but not convincingly. And Van Domselaar will come out to collect. 5 minutes to play at Meadow Park. We are 5 minutes away from extra time. Van Domselaar is going to have to release this ball at some point. Does roll it out to Wooben Moy. Williamson fires it up the pitch. Knack, can she beat Blacksenius to it? Yes, really good defending that. Really physical, really assertive. Alexandri back to Jess Park. Kasparite to Fagino. Fagino plays a 1-2 with Park. Really good from the winger to skip past McCabe. And she's still going for Gino, but the touch is just a bit heavy. Swept up by Leah Williamson. Ball pumped long. Casper under pressure from Caldente. Calmly knocks it back to her goalkeeper. Time is running out for either of these sides to find a winner. I'm sure we'll have a pretty decent amount of extra time. Sorry, additional time. Uahabi. Back to Caroline. Asagawa. Uahabi. City just playing triangles, just holding on to possession. They look very happy. Just a City seem to be just waiting for this threat to go to extra time. But they are going to try and come forwards. Alexandria de Casprite, really good pressure from Arsenal. Much better second half from the Gunners. They've earned their right to be back in this game. Philly says she's like Inzaghi. I worked with an Italian lad who said in Italy is saying that Inzaghi lives in the offside trap. Yeah, fair enough. Mariona Calente's been caught here. Hopefully she's alright. Wins the ball back. Alexandria just comes through and catches her. And it has been given as a free kick. But yeah, Black Saints really good player. But honestly, if she could time the run better, she'd be so deadly. Such a deadly forward. Well, Arsenal free kick with 2 minutes to play. We expected a really good game between these two sides, and we've got one. It's been eventful. We've had a penalty scored at one end. We've had a penalty missed at the other. But if we don't find a goal in the next 2 minutes, plus additional, we're going to require another 30 minutes to try and find a winner. And if we don't find a winner in that time, we get to go to everybody's favourite penalty kicks. Well, it was a Cooney cross delivery onto a Wubben-Moy head that led to an Arsenal goal against Man City on Sunday. It's a Cooney cross delivery. Whose head will she find? It will be Wubben-Moy. It's bundled. Is it bundled in? Not quite. And Yamashita will hold on to it. But it was Cooney cross looking to be found. Why I find Wubben-Moy. I'm not quite sure who knocked it forwards in the end. It was Wubben-Moy. It's a bit of just a knock-on effect. Wubben-Moy into Uahabi, and it rolled into the goalkeeper's hands. And Yamashita just taking her time about that one. City coming forward now. Big tackle from Wubben-Moy. Falls back to Fagino. Rord is caught. Will keep moving the ball though. Here is Caroline. Flicks it over to Uahabi. Back to Caroline. Hasegawa. City playing some nice foot in the corner. Can't afford to lose it here though. They could get counted. Hasegawa does well just to play out. Here is Knack. Caroline picks the ball up in the middle of the park. Across to Jess Park. Park to Fagino. Fagino with the ball in, looking for Rord. It's across the goal and it's wide. Huge opportunity for Man City. Jill Rord heads wide in the last minute. That would have surely been the winner. Van Domselaar was rooted. City moves it superb from side to side. And Jill Rord just heads wide. It's not a bad header at all. Just heads it past the far post. We are now into the 90th minute. And we will play. Just waiting to see what the additional time will be. Williamson's got a goal kick. We'll play it short to Van Domselaar. He's going to have to release it because she's under pressure here. Fires it up the pitch. Knack steps forward and wins it. Fires it back to Fowler. Brings it down. Wubben-Moy lashes it clear. Held up well by Russo. Here's Caldente. Russo out wide to Caitlin Ford. Ford out into Uahabi and Ford looks to go. Really good defending, but Ford will keep going. Caroline gets back in. Helps out her teammate. Arsenal throw. Still waiting to find out how much additional time we've got. Fox. Throws it to Blacksenius. Fighting with Uahabi. Ford on the turn. Great battle between the two of these players. Ford versus Uahabi. Ford spins out superbly. Really good from Caitlin Ford. Muscles off Uahabi, who's fallen to the deck. Here's Leia Vauti. Looks to skip past Hasegawa. Will recycle it to Nak. Nak smashed it out the pitch. Williamson heads it back into the danger area. Nak heads it back up towards Williamson. Williamson heads it back up in the air. Game of head tennis here between Nak and Williamson. Calrentane finally gets the ball on the floor. Russo. Fox. Vauti. Uahabi steps in. I apologise. Still no indication on the screen as to how much additional time we've got. We're almost 2 minutes into it. Williamson. Van Domsela. Cooney Cross plays a blind reverse pass into the middle of the park. And for her sake, luckily for her sake, she finds Calrentane. Van Domsela. Across to Leia Williamson. This is really frustrating. I'm in suspense here. I have no idea how much longer we've got to play on. Leia Vauti. Smashes it into the back of the referee's head. She's going to stop the game at that moment. If anyone does know how much has been added on, please let me know. Because I'm not quite sure at the moment. Either way, we're 2.5 minutes into whatever the additional time is. Drop ball for Arsenal. Chance then to get everyone out of the pitch. And for City to drop deeper. Williamson fires it across the pitch. For Gino manages to head it out of play. McCabe on the throw. McCabe goes back to Wooben Moy. 5 minutes. Thank you for confirming that, Masek Marat. So we have 2 minutes remaining then of normal time. Arsenal have themselves a throw-in. Thank you, everyone. So we have 2 minutes remaining. Here's Cooney Cross. Wooben Moy. Yeah, the BBC still haven't worked. They still don't know how long's added on. Williamson looks to fire it into the channels of Vauti. Cut out by Uahabi. He'll cut. Here comes Jill Rord. City looking to come forwards with 1.5 minutes to play. Jess Park. Muscles off McCabe. Still Park. Coming forwards. Finds Fowler. Great tackle from Williamson. McCabe will shift it outright to Ford. Ford fighting Uahabi for it. Great battle. Manchester City throw. Minute to play here. Nervy. Really nervy moments. A goal now would send either side through to the final. Man City the ones in the Arsenal third. Rord. Alexandri. Man City absolutely camped in Arsenal's half. Nak. Uahabi. Nak to Hasegawa. City patiently waiting. 30 seconds left. We are 30 seconds away from extra time. Here is Jess Park. Cuts inside. Good from Park. Shifts it to Rord. Rord to Fowler. Fowler has a go. Fowler has a go and it's found the bottom corner. Mary Fowler with another brilliant effort. And surely this late in the game, that will send City to the final. It's a really well hit effort. Van Donsar's left rooted to the spot. It's lazy from Arsenal. But City will not care. Mary Fowler finds the bottom corner. It's perfectly placed. And a brilliant, brilliant finish. And once again, a player on top form who missed the penalty earlier to give City the lead finds a superb goal in the dying embers of the game. Arsenal are allowed to shoot. Van Domselaar's got to do better. But Mary Fowler, in the last seconds of the game, has surely found the winner. It's a really good effort, but Arsenal have got to do better. But what a moment for Man City. Fowler again, coming up trumps for Manchester City. And that is it. Full time here at Meadow Park. And in the last 30 seconds, it's a Mary Fowler winner to send City through to the Subway League Cup final. And Manchester City will play Chelsea on the 15th of March for a chance to win the Subway Women's League Cup. A brilliant, brilliant game of football. Second half that just came to life. Gareth penalty levelled the game up for Arsenal. Fowler then went on to miss a penalty 2 minutes later. But in the 95th minute, when we looked bound on to go to extra time, Mary Fowler comes up again, provides for Man City, and it's a Fowler brace that sends City through to the final. What a player, and what a way to redeem herself. After missing the penalty to level City up almost immediately after Arsenal equalised, it's Fowler to provide for City in added time. What a goal, what a game. And for Arsenal, they will not retain their League Cup trophy. They won it last year at the Molineux beating Chelsea. They will not win it this year. It will be one of Chelsea or Manchester City. And for a club that have not won silverware for a good few years, there's a chance in 3 or 4 weeks' time for Gareth Taylor and his side to get Manchester City's name back onto a trophy in the women's game. That is a huge win, a dramatic win, and a much needed one for momentum, for morale. Mary Fowler take a bow. Superb player. Comes up with a superb moment. We look destined to go to extra time, but Mary Fowler provides. But that is everything from myself today. What a match. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in today to watch what was a brilliant match between two sides who have just delivered across the last 6 days. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Everyone reacting. Fair enough, it was another great game. Big drama. And Ireland 1, who spent the whole game moaning that Manchester City were not good enough, is relishing in victory as they find themselves into the Women's League Cup final. Fair enough to Man City. Arsenal, they did very well in the second half. And at the end of the day, all you can say, really, is that it was a really close game, but it was Fowler who came up with a moment of magic in the last minute. Arsenal were disappointed to concede in that fashion. With 30 seconds to go, to let a player shoot like that on the edge of your own area. Van Domselaar should have done better. It wasn't the most powerful shot in the world, and she didn't even dive at it. She got rooted to the spot. Just didn't react. And wow, what a game. What a game. I need to have a lie down, but I will be back. Just me again. Sorry to disappoint, but I will be back on Sunday for some FA Cup action. So make sure to join along then. In the meantime, there will be a video going out tomorrow based on the goal scorer today for Man City, Mary Fowler, and how her season's been going. And I mean, that was before we'd even considered her performance tonight. Absolutely phenomenal. And a player who is in top form, providing in the biggest moment for Man City and single-handedly sending them through to a domestic cup final. Hats off to Mary Fowler. If you want to watch that video, that'll be out tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to get updated when that video goes out. But credit to Mary Fowler, credit to Man City. Live streams will be back on Sunday for the Women's FA Cup, and then we'll be back with the WSL the weekend after that. But yeah, good game. Thank you to everyone joining out. Really, really good stuff. Great to be back. Great to keep streaming. I could watch Arsenal play Man City every single week at this rate. Absolutely brilliant action. But that is everything from us today. Thank you all very much for watching. Brilliant support on today's stream. But thank you all so much for tuning in. And I'll see you next time. Bye.